wanted to record us.
And we're live. Hi, welcome to the Musketeers. I'm your host, an American Celt. With me, as always, is my big sister, Tessin. Hi, welcome to the
Musketeers.
That was me. I knew it was going to happen. I was waiting for it so I could mute it.
Oh, there you go.
And with me is my good friend, Fear Disney.
Fear Disney. You fool! What's going on?
And with me today is the next 6 minutes.
I am cooking chicken tonight, so you guys are going to hear a microwave beeping in about maybe 12 minutes.
When aren't you cooking chicken?
Well, when they make it more expensive.
I mean, I never hear you saying, I'm grilling a steak tonight.
Yeah.
I grill more steak than you, and you live in fucking Texas, where my steak comes from.
Well, when they sell a pack of steaks that are in my price range that are of a good enough quality that meat that hits it strikes my fancy, then I will of course switch to steaks. But as it is, chicken is the winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, I was going to say that should be your catchphrase.
You know, I never got into eating red meat when I was younger. My mother, God bless her, she was afraid that you were going to get trichinosis and salmonella and all sorts of other things. So she'd give you a steak. You might as well go take the hockey puck off the driveway. It was probably going to be a little bit more tender. You know, she would. Oh my God, it was so well done. She cooked the shit out of the damn thing. You get like a steak that was like a couple of ounces raw by the time it was. Let's say it was like 16 ounces raw. You get the thing on the plate, it's like 4 ounces because she cooked it for so long.
Well, then I guess you're gonna love it when I come to visit and I cook steak on your grill.
Oh hell yeah! I got a web of charcoal.
You'll go out and buy whatever charcoal I want, huh?
Well, as long as it's Kingsford, you got it.
I use whatever charcoal, to be honest.
You got to use the Kingsford Matchlight.
Anybody who cooks a steak to well done doesn't like steak.
Yeah. Which amazed me because my mother's Irish. That's like, that's all they live off of is steak and potatoes.
No, more like corned beef and potatoes.
Nah, that's the Jews. Or actually, no, seriously, that's where they got it from, living in the tenements. Like, I never had on St. Paddy's Day corned beef. We always had boiled ham. That's what the Irish eat.
Oh.
No, I'm saying, but when they came to this country, that's the reason they thought it was such a great country. They could have steak. You can't get that over there. You know, that's the landlords. You kill the cow, they're going to hang you. But, yeah, no, I got the barbecue out back. I got a gas grill also.
I like charcoal.
Yeah, I like charcoal too. That's the reason I got it.
Gives it a better flavor, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I was never into the whole Hank Hill thing.
Propane and propane accessories.
Yeah. Yeah, we've always had like the gas grill since I was a kid. Fucking hated them.
I never cared for steak or chicken or anything really cooked on a gas grill.
Yeah.
I grew up in South Texas. It's mesquite is the additive that is most popular with you throw in a couple of chunks of mesquite into the charcoals. It gives it it's hard to describe it, but it adds a facet, a depth to the flavor of the meat that is quite nice.
Chips. And
Hickory is also good.
Yeah. Well, I lucked out because of where I am, because I'm right on the edge of the neighborhood. So I can always just, go shoot up straight path and boom, I'm right in the heart of the hood. And, I go up there because I go to visit, a couple of my black friends in that part of town. And you know what? It's a stereotype that they should be happy that they have is those folks love to barbecue, especially in the summer.
Shoot,
But
I grill and my neighbors come out of their doors and they're like, "That smells good."
yeah,
And they're black.
yeah, that's that's what I'm saying. That's part of the reason. Like I used to go driving. Like when I used to have my convertible, I'd be driving through that part of town. I was always veering off down side streets and finding cookouts and shit, and they're all looking at me. You know, like they're like, "What the fuck is this white guy doing up in the neighborhood?" But then immediately, you know, they'd see me like looking around, like, "Yo, where's that barbecue at?" And this is the thing I've noticed a lot of times when if you go out of your way. This maybe it's just something in the black community with hospitality, but if you go out of your way to look to find a barbecue, like yo, I smelled that from the highway, they'll hook you up with a plate.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, seriously.
I was
Like,
homeless, and I was walking back to the camp area, and we had this huge ham shank over there that someone had pulled it out of the dumpster from Winn-Dixie.
mm-hmm.
But, you know, we cut all the rotten bits off because the entire thing wasn't rotten.
Yeah.
And we'd been cooking on that a bit, and I was kind of fucking tired of ham. So I was walking back, and, you know, I wasn't going through the best neighborhoods. And I smelled barbecue. So I just sauntered over and took a look, and I saw this family at their apartment just grilling, kids running around, you know, they have beers, everything like that, and they saw me. And I just kind of looked, sniffed the air, closed my eyes, and went to walk away. And I heard, "Hey, come here." "Yeah, you, come here." I'm like, "Okay." So I walked over, and he's like, "What are you doing over here?" Like, I smelled the barbecue at the main road. He's like, "What side of town are you from?" I'm like, "I'm homeless." He's like, "You're kidding me." I'm like, "You don't look like you're homeless because, you know, I have weight on me." I was like, I literally said this to him. I go, "Red beans and rice didn't miss me." And he got this big shit-eating grin on his face. And he's like, "Come here." He's like, "Do you want leg, thigh, or breast?" I'm like, "I'm a tit girl."
There you go.
Dude, being homeless, I hadn't eaten so good in so long. They hooked me up with mac and cheese, corn on the cob, potato salad. You know, he asked me, he's like, "What kind of beer do you drink?" I was like, "I prefer Coronas." He's like, "I'll be right back." He went to the store to get me a fucking Corona.
Nice guy. You lucked out.
And even his wife offered to let me stay with them, and I was like, "No offense to you guys at all." I said, "But your kids would drive me insane." They're like, "Do you know how to cook?" I was like, "Yeah, I know how to cook." And they literally offered to pay for me to live there and cook. And I was like, "Your kids would drive me insane. I'm sorry." I was like, I wouldn't be able to not discipline them. And they're like, "If you were to stay here, we wouldn't stop you."
There you go. Well, I guess it worked
I was
out.
in my 20s. The only thing I didn't know how to do at the time was make homemade gravy like I know how to do now.
I love making gravy.
Oh,
Yeah. You know, my nephew's a fucking weirdo like that. He refuses to use gravy. He doesn't like wet meat.
Interesting.
Yeah, I even told him. I said, "You're a sick fuck." I don't like wet meat. Yeah, go ahead. Go sit down in the basement and play video games for the next 9 months, you sick weirdo. He comes up to Thanksgiving dinner. He's got a puss on his face like somebody just like slid a feather in his ass or something. I'm like, "What's the matter, kid?" "Oh, I don't like wet meat. There's gravy on my food." I'm looking at him like, "You put me the fuck on, right?" "No, I don't like wet meat." All right.
Well, he'd hate carne asada.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. You know, I'm not usually one for like, exotic foods or delicacies or things of that nature. But if it's done right, like beef tartare, like which basically it's raw beef that's been cured and it's cured. It's cured beef. It's not even cooked.
Kind of like bruschetta.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, certain foods like that. I not this kid. No, he needs to have his food well done and dry. He's weird.
Oh, he ruins the steak then.
Yeah, like me, I personally I like a steak that has it's been marinated. Then after you take it out the marinade, you hit it with a good heavy dry rub, cook the fucker, and then hit it with gravy. Seriously, I like to over-season the living shit out of red meat. That's how I am. You know what it is? Because I had so many friends I was around. I had friends who were from Texas, and they had Texas barbecue. I had friends who were from the Carolinas. They had the Carolina way that they did it. I had friends who were from Tennessee. They had the Tennessee way they did it. So I learned all these different tricks, and I said, "Fuck it!" I just combined them. And you know how many people scream at me that that's sacrilege? It's
No,
either
it's
one.
not sacrilege. I marinate mine in Moore's beef marinade
Mm-hmm.
for half an hour, and then I throw that bitch on the grill.
What I do is I'll let it sit usually overnight in a thing of sangria, pearl onions, and garlic cloves. That's the marinade it'll sit in. I take it out of that. Then you take a razor and you start making little slices in the steak and you stick in the cloves. Then you hit it with the dry rub. You cook the fucker. And then after you cook it, you want to make sure you get those cloves out and you hit it with the gravy. Steak is delicious. I learned that trick with the
I put A1 sauce.
I learned the trick with the cloves from one of the best Harley Davidson mechanics in the neighborhood. A buddy of mine, Miles. He told me, he's like, Scoop, you got to do this trick with the cloves. I'm telling you. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Holy shit, was he right? Seriously, I doubt he's going to hear this. But Miles, if you ever hear this, bro, thank you for that trick with the cloves. I've been using it now for at least a good decade. You know, you just make like you ever see when like you stick cloves in a ham?
Yeah.
Same thing, except you do it with steak. But instead of like leaving it on the surface, you want to make it where the cloves are inside the steak. That way, when you flip the steak over, the cloves don't go flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Telling you, once you get
what my ex-husband liked for me to do was I would take the cloves and I put them in my mortar and pettits and I grind them up into a powder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd use that as a dry rub on the steak. And, of course, I'd also still marinate it in the Moore's marinade before that. Throw it on the grill. And then, of course, we had A1 sauce with it.
I remember I had out all my spices and shit, and I had out the mortar and pestle, and my brother thought I was worshiping the devil. Comes out and
look at him and go, no, I'm just making an anti-potion for you.
No, he comes out and he looks at me. So, what the fuck are you doing? Worshiping the devil? I take one look at him. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Why don't you go have another fucking line? You can cut the grass afterwards, asshole. And he was all banged out of his head. He's seen all the ingredients and everything. I looked at him. I go, what the fuck? I said, do you see a cauldron or anything out here? I said, no, it's a mortar and a pestle. I said, I'm grinding up seeds. I said, I'm making something to eat. He gave me this bewildered look. I said, yeah, Marine, I can actually cook. I don't need to eat out of a fucking can.
I would want the anti-crazy potion.
They don't have something like that for him. Believe me. Sick bastard. He just, everything I was doing, he was convinced I was doing something that had to do with Satan. I even said to him once, I said, where the fuck did you get this from? I said, I'm not into heavy metal. I said, I'm not into any like horror. Where the fuck do you get this devil worshiping shit from? He was, I don't know, you're weird. Oh, come on, go. You telling me I'm weird? You're the one that owns all those Jets crazy pants. You walk around looking like a fucking couch half the time.
Yeah.
Well, I found something funny. I'm looking at a picture of the Notre Dame burning, and these people dressed as Vikings and posed in front of the picture.
You know what? Some people would say that's too soon. I think that's actually brilliant.
Yeah, I think so too.
That really is brilliant. And you know what? Anyone who can, you need a little bit of levity here. There was no life lost, as far as I know. Yes, history has been lost. It's a sad tragedy. But this is why I've always said, relics and artifacts need to be kept in museums, not in a couple of 1,000-year-old rickety buildings made out of wood.
And then the museum catches fire.
Well, yeah, modern museums nowadays, they're pretty much fireproof. They're all like concrete, glass, steel. You know, nothing can burn in those except for the artifacts. But like a lot of modern museums, they're pretty much made to, protect the shit from things happening. I think
I've seen a lot of movies where there's a heist at the museum, but never a cathedral.
True.
Evidently, you haven't seen certain movies.
Like what?
Well, let's see. In Indiana Jones,
The Notre Dame job?
Would you let me finish? Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, they tear up the floor to get to the catacombs underneath of a library.
Where was this at? I thought it was at a library.
It used to be a church.
Dude, did you see Ghostbusters? The firehouse. Didn't it used to be a church? No, wait a minute.
No, it was always a firehouse.
Okay.
Yeah. That's still an active firehouse, too. There's a place that has bubble tea that's across the street. They got a really good deal. You get the bubble tea off of them. I forget what you get. I think it's like they got churros there, too. For some reason, they got like Japanese tea and they got Mexican pastries. But whatever. The point is the bubble tea is really good.
I love churros.
Damn it, it's just a Vatican job.
Hey, everybody remember, if you ever meet Burnside, don't smack his churros out of his hand.
Oh, that's yeah. You don't mess with the man's churros.
What's a churro?
Hey, Pat.
What's going on there, buddy?
Hey, Pat.
Just chilling.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just waking up not too long ago, so I had to.
So, Pat, something funny happened. These guys dressed up as Vikings and took a selfie in front of the Notre Dame while it was burning.
Oh, damn.
Hey, I'm Catholic, and even I think that's funny. But seriously, I mean, look, you got, like I was just saying, right when you hopped in, I was just saying, you gotta laugh at it only because they were able to save it. Yeah, a lot of the art and other shit got destroyed. That's horrible, but I've always said, put this shit in a museum. Something made out of concrete and steel that ain't gonna burn. You know?
And who would have thought stone would burn?
I do have a question. I wonder how many Vanderbilt fans rejoiced when they first heard that Notre Dame was on fire.
What's Vanderbilt?
It's a college.
Team for,
isn't that like I said, isn't that the college rifle?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought you meant Vanderbilt Planetarium out by me on the North Shore.
I mean the university.
Yeah, I haven't followed college football in a while, so.
Oh, man.
I've been following college basketball a lot more. Love me some March Madness.
Yeah, Texas Tech almost got it, but they fell just short to Virginia.
Yeah.
Even so, Wreckham Tech.
How did St. John's do? Anyone know?
No.
No.
Yeah. Damn. Loves the Red Storm. You know, my sister-in-law is an alumnus, and you know what I love? And this fucking makes me a little bit confused and nervous at the same time because she's an administrator in New York City at a school. She isn't aware of the fact that they have an alumnus program of, like where you get first dibs on the tickets.
Interesting.
Yeah. I told her this a few times. She's like, no, they don't. I'm like, yeah, they do. If you're an alumni from that school, you know, like you can get the tickets. Like, I think it's a week or two before it goes on sale for everyone else. And she insists, no, that doesn't. They don't do that. Yeah, whatever.
Does she not like sports?
I have no idea. She's an idiot. She's a Democrat. I think I told you about her. She's the devil. This is the one. She's really not that smart. I mean, it makes me fucking scared that my state is full of this many of these people. But like, she was the one. She's eating the salad, and she says to her sister-in-law, she goes, "Oh, what the hell is this? It's weird. I like this." She's like, "It's dandelion." She goes, and she gets this look on her face, and she says, "Don't tell me that. I won't eat it." And I'm thinking to myself,
what you ask?
yeah, but the other part of it is, okay, it's dandelion. You know, if she said it was, skin from the back of like little children or something, I'd be like, okay, that would be. It's fucking dandelion. I don't know. I don't ever try to go into the head of an idiot because you're gonna give yourself a fucking migraine trying to do that.
Yes. And I'm saying I meet a whole bunch of them on Twitter. That's why I'm just like, I'm not even finna encounter your dumb ass.
And that's also the reason why Pat's not married.
Yeah.
What was the deal with that? You were going back and forth with some dumb person the other day there, Pat. What was that all about?
Which one?
That's a good question. Which one? Okay, the one that. What was it about? It was the ones that were giving you stuff because you had said. Oh, it was about them accusing you of having white privilege because you posted the thing about you had been in the military and you had made your own way, and they for some reason they took offense to what you said and accused you of benefiting from some sort of white privilege.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, the viral tweet that I had put out. Yeah, some dude just basically came in and tried to just play down my compliment and shit like that, basically saying that hell, I probably had some white family members that manipulated the system for me as I was growing up and shit like that. And I'm like, oh my God, bro. The things some people will say just to goddamn, try to put you down and shit like that. Not all black people can have the
looked at your pictures.
No, it's just, some black profiles on Twitter, and they see, a black person not, accepting this woe is me victim mentality shit that they like to goddamn, hold because they just too damn lazy to, earn they goddamn keep like how I did. So they try to make up every excuse, to try to put you down. And then he was just basically one of them. Just sitting up there talking about what about all the black people who didn't have all the opportunities as you, and then sitting over. I bet you probably had some white family member who just manipulated the system for you to get all the things you want. And I'm like, the shit people fucking just think of.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man. I'm supposed to be a criminal. It's just how people think. They got this shit in their heads. They got a stereotype and they like to run with it. And I mean, I told you, like, when I was talking to a few, I wish for the life of me I knew what stream it was on. I got sent a random invite months ago. When I first started streaming, somebody just sent me an invite, and I hopped on with all these people. I didn't know who any of them were, but they were all younger than me. And I told you about this, the problem they had with the Tyler Perry movies, because it was all these young millennials, and they all grew up on the newer hip hop, like the garbage hip hop that's come out since like the turn of the century, and they thought that Tyler Perry was culturally appropriating because they were drinking champagne out of crystal goblets, because they said, well, no, black people don't do that. I'm like, I'm looking at the screen, like, did I just hear that right? I'm looking at, I asked this kid, I go, what do you mean? Well, no, they go like this. I'm not even kidding. They go, keeping it real. I'm like, keeping it real? Well, yeah, they wouldn't do that. It goes against the culture. I'm like, are you putting me the fuck on? It was some kid. I think this kid said he was from like Wichita or some shit. And this goes to show you how bad it is with like these liberals and the shit that they're pumping out on TV and all. And like on the radio, you don't realize it. You know, we scoff at it sometimes, but a lot of these kids, they don't know the difference that some of the shit that they're saying in the songs is they're being hyperbolic. They can't tell the difference from fantasy on TV, obviously. They really thought that Tyler Perry was culturally appropriating because they were sitting around in a nice skiing lodge, fucking having dinner, drinking champagne out of crystal goblets. I'm not even fucking kidding. And they weren't like being like hateful or showing any animosity. They were offended that Tyler Perry did that because they thought that he was putting down black people. This is really how these kids thought, and it amazes me. Yeah. I'm being dead serious. This generation really thinks that if I'm not walking around in a pinstripe suit and you're not wearing fucking lugs or some shit, you know, like that, we're sellouts. It amazes me talking to these young people.
Yeah, fuck them. Pat, I want you to show up at the airport in that pimp suit from your picture on Facebook I can take a picture.
And what now?
I said, I want you to show up at the airport here in that pimp suit that you have on your Facebook. And I'm going to take a picture with you and go, Pat, be pimping. That way they know you're keeping it real.
Hey, you can borrow my shoes.
I know it was kind of like a tweet that I threw down today. Like I just basically said, like, you know, like all black people aren't these I forgot what the fuck I said, but yeah, these weed smoking, rap listening, you know, like uneducated, you know, like woe is me degenerates with fucked up names and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's what it is, man. Cause like, yeah, thanks to like a lot of these radical liberals and these Democrats and shit like that, you know, who go around and basically think like, you know, black people are just these, you know, these woe is me victim complex that just basically unemployed, walking around, you know, like with their hands out begging for reparations and welfare and food stamps and shit like that, and like no, that's not all black people. But I'm saying what you're portraying that ghetto stereotype and shit like that. And yeah, there are a lot of black people like that, but hell, there are also black people out here who are actually busting their ass. They're out here, you know, trying to get an education and better themselves in life. And yeah, there are black people who are like on those Tyler Perry movies, sitting in the ski lodge and shit like that because, you know, they earned their keep because they're a success in life and they're living it. I'm saying they're living that type of life. But like I said, but if you listen to like I'm saying, like I said, these liberals and these Democrats and shit like that, we just these poor folks who need handouts and shit like that, and don't know how to take care of ourselves. So we need them in order to goddamn help us. If you sit up there and just let them, you know, basically say it right there, and that's how they keep black people down. They keep us like, oh, you need us because you know you're so poor, you don't know what to do and shit like that. And if you're like me, you know, and you better yourself, you know, because you take these opportunities that are being, you know, like I'm saying, given to you in life, to those ones who are, you know, screaming reparations and, you know, like, woe is me, I as a victim, you know, then you're a sellout, you know, you sucking and jiving for the white man and shit like that. And it's sad, you know, like that's the reason why black people can't really get up there in life because, you know, got too many lazy motherfuckers, you know, trying to rely upon the government and help and hold their damn hands out because they're too fucking lazy.
So I feel like riding atop a donkey, wearing a serape and a sombrero, eating mayonnaise sandwiches on Wonder Bread, listening to Kenny G. Because I want to represent my personal genetic heritage. I want to keep it real. I want to keep it real.
Don't you got as many ingredients as you as McDonald's French fries, 6?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm a hodgepodge.
What's that now?
I'm a trail mix of people.
That's cool.
So look at all these wild ass people who I'm saying what they think about black people now. Like look at people like Rachel Dolezal. Like when she got in trouble for that welfare fraud and shit like that, because now she's trying to be all black and shit like that. She changed her name. She's fucking tanning her skin and stuff like that. She's braiding hair and she's living off, and she was on she was collecting welfare and shit like that because she was portraying the sister stereotype, like this is how black women live. I'm like, no, bitch, you're portraying a ghetto stereotype. Cause like I said, you know, you sitting up here portraying shit that you be seeing on motherfucking TV. That's not all motherfucking black women. Mm-hmm. And then you got people like Kamala Harris, you know, going on
her
fucking
son is embarrassed of her.
Huh?
Rachel Dolezal, the fake
Mhm.
black woman, her son is embarrassed of her.
Yeah, because that's what you think. What all black women are and things like that. Then you've been watching a little too much fucking BET or whatever the fuck. It's like, nah. All black women aren't, don't got fucked up names, do hair, and live off fucking welfare and shit like that, and have tons of kids. No, those are ghetto ass sisters. And then you got people like Kamala Harris and shit like that going on motherfucking what radio shows and shit like that, talking about here she used to smoke weed, she used to listen to Tupac and Biggie before they were Tupac and Biggie and shit like that. And like, really?
Yeah, she graduated in 1986. Those albums weren't first released until the 1990s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what most of the motherfucking Democratic Party goddamn thinks about us. They think that, they think we're these weak-minded ass people who can't goddamn do a damn thing for ourselves. So
I don't even
Yeah.
think Digital Underground was even around until like 1988.
I think, 87, 88, their first album dropped.
The Humpty Dance.
Yeah. Love that one. I'll eat up all your crackers and your licorice. Excuse me, fat girl, are you ticklish?
yeah, that was part of my don't get me wrong, I still listen to rap and hip hop, but only to a certain point. Like I said, I think my era really stops around, when I graduated around 1996. That's when it really stopped being like, good to me. Then, cause all the back then, the songs had like stories to them and meanings, but now it's just all, motherfuckers just trying to make rhymes out of whatever the fuck they can. And I'm like, man, this sounds kindergarten.
Yeah, it essentially became overproduced, studio cookie cutter cannon fodder stuff that was largely, it became an industry. It just became another pop genre.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the meaning just went out the door.
You know what it is too? I watched that one YouTuber. He really blew up too. He's got like 400,000 subscribers now or some shit. Uncle Hotep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watch him a lot. And he even said, it's this younger generation, because when we were coming up, it was all, was blunts and 40 ounces. And these younger kids, they're into Robitussin, they're into pills, they're into all this shit. And that's the reason that rap music, that you got this friggin' mumble rap. It's because they're all high as hell.
They're all high as hell.
Yeah, and it's the music. It's basically, you got to look at it as rap has entered like a period, like a psychedelic period that rock went through in the '60s. It's entered like this lethargic period because all these kids are doped the fuck up on these various cocktails that they're whipping up out the medicine cabinet because it's cheaper than shit on the streets, and they're getting all sorts of tuned up. You got to see. I hate saying it, but there's times where I haven't seen it as much. I guess it fell out of favor or whatever. But you see these fucking kids passed out. Like I go and I like was just saying before, when I'd be driving through the hood up over in Wyandanch, up over off a straight path, I'd be driving. I see them all like passed out in the field. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And I asked one of the older guys. I'm like, yo, what's up with them? He's like, oh, that's some little Thundercats messing with that fucking scissor shit. I said, oh
man,
yeah, they're not. All passed out in the field. You think they're like watching the clouds or whatever. No, they're snoring.
Yeah, and like I said, and then you got all of them right here with all this crazy ass, like crazy ass beef and shit like that. Hell, now.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers trying to earn so much goddamn craig, trying to be gangster and shit, and none of them ain't gangster whatsoever goddamn ever, and
yeah,
be running their lives, be running their careers, and all that shit right there, trying to be hard. Like, oh.
Look, I grew up in the real deal and seen it when I was a kid. I don't know why the hell they're trying to emulate that shit. Like, do you worry about like your neighborhood? Do shit like you don't want to be a hard rock. I remember when this was the worst city in America when I was a kid, and I remember like Chicago and Detroit, and they're still bad. I mean, why are these fucking kids? Don't these kids see this shit? I don't know, man. I'm getting old. It's
they studio gangsters and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of them just fucking pretending. And then the real deal comes around and shit like that. And hell, now you see motherfuckers going to fall victim to it. People like fucking Extentation and fucking Nipsey Hussle and all that right there. It's like,
Yeah.
and the shit just sad. You know, it ain't like how it was back in the day. Don't get me wrong. It was still, it was still like those types out there right now. But you see how they done improved. You know, hell, shit. Snoop started out that same damn way too. Being all
Yeah.
trying hard and gangster rapping until motherfuckers started getting killed, and then he calmed the fuck down. Him, Ice Cube, him, and all that shit right there.
Yeah.
You got to remember, we live in a world where even a guy as charitable and as wonderful and as creative as Jam Master Jay falls victim to people's perception of what the culture is that surrounds rap and hip hop music.
Yeah. I remember I went to his school up over on Second. I think it was either Second Street or Second Ave, off of either Fifth Street or Fifth Ave. I forget. But I digress. I attended the Jam Master Jay Scratch DJ Academy in Lower Manhattan, and I'm pretty sure it was because he got shot. I think it was on Halloween. So it was the first semester after he got shot. I was there. I remember, and they had like all the memorial shit that they were doing for him. It was sad. Shot him. I think the person just shot him over some dumb shit, like dumb shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying usually is, man. Like some of the most stupidest shit in the world.
Yeah. Like
probably some kid that was trying to get cred for himself.
Yeah. I hate saying it because it's the neighborhood. It was up in Queens. It could have been over a quarrel. It really could have been like somebody pissed somebody off the wrong way. I hate saying it like that, but that's how shit goes down around here. A lot of times you'll see somebody get shot the fuck up, and it's somebody they know, and it's over the dumbest beef. I hated that shit when I was a kid. Somebody get moked the fuck up because they popped off to the wrong person, and then boom, they're over. It's done. I remember my buddy Dave Hornstein, may he rest in peace. He got shot the fuck up over on Oak Street by the Nietas, if I remember, because he popped off and said the wrong thing to the wrong person, and they sprayed his brains all over the hood of his car.
I say, yeah, that shit happens, man.
Yeah.
That's why I tell a lot of these kids around here, man, y'all gotta be careful what the hell y'all say towards people, because here one of these days you're gonna pop up at the wrong one, and hey, they gonna show you. It's like,
yeah.
Because I got little nieces and nephews who do that shit right there. I'm saying they've gotten away with it with their parents for so goddamn long. They feel like they can pop off for everybody. Like a lot of these kids, the hell shit. Their parents ain't said, don't know what I'm saying, don't discipline them and shit on all that right there, and they think they just basically mouth off to whoever. I'm like, all right, you're gonna shoot your mouth towards the wrong person. They're gonna show you what's up, and then what are you gonna do then?
Yeah.
It's like these little crazy Antifa fucks and shit like that, when looking on, and look what happened when push came to shove with their ass. They saying they got bent over and spanked.
Yeah. I talked to one of these leftists once, and it was a kid at this college, and I said to him flat out, I said, let me ask you something. You know what blood tastes like? And he looks at me, he goes, why would I know what blood tastes like? I said, okay, let me put a scenario for you. I said, you're standing, I said, in one of your little rallies, one of your gatherings or whatever. I said, and something goes and pops off. I said, and somebody has a bottle. I said, they break it over somebody's head. I said, and then they turn around and they slash the person in front of you. I said, they slash them good. I said, and their blood sprays in your face. I said, you're tasting their blood. I said, you ever have that happen? He said, no. I said, yeah. I said, I had something like that happen once. I said, working security. I said, got into a fight. I said, the bottle got broken. Next thing I know, the guy gets slashed. They caught him on the side of the neck. They opened up a fucking artery, and boom, everyone got sprayed by this guy's fucking blood in their face. I said, you had people throwing up because they got mouths full of blood. And he's looking at me all horrified. I said, are you ready for something like that? something you're not prepared for. You're standing there, you can't. All you can do, you can't see because your eyes are full of blood, and you got the taste of this guy's blood in your mouth. He's like, no, I don't want it. I said, then you can't handle it. I said, let me ask you this. I said, are you ready for the smell of burning flesh? And he's looking at me all horrified. I said, these are the things you have to think about if you really want to go and be an activist and go wild out in the fucking streets and riot. You have to think about, are you going to be able to deal with seeing somebody who's got their bones sticking out of their leg and they're screaming for their mother because they're in agony because somebody stomped on them the right way and shattered their leg? You know, these are the things that happen. Now, I only know a lot of this shit from dealing with the riots at Woodstock 99. I went through actual riots. I had a guy run past me on fire. That's some crazy fucking shit, man. You know? Like, seriously, I don't think that these kids understand how crazy this shit can get.
No, because they see all this crazy bullshit online and CNN where basically, you know, these people only going after folks who they think won't fight back, basically who won't fight back. And the reason why is because they have morals and principles. And I tell them, the reason why these people have morals and principles is because these are the type of people, if they ever stoop down to your damn level, will beat your ass worse than, beyond recognition. And that's what they fucking fail to realize, because you got all these liberals and these Democrats and fucking mainstream media who have pumped their goddamn head up, telling them to do this and do that, and like these folks ain't gonna do nothing. But they gotta look at a couple of these things. Like I said, they gotta look at what happened in Charlottesville, they gotta look at what happened in Berkeley, and they gotta look at what happened in Portland not too long ago when you piss off the wrong goddamn people to the point where they just like, you know what, fuck this. Because every time they did this right there, all these little Antifa fucks, all these little, kid activists and stuff like that. What happened right there? They got their motherfucking asses whooped, and then they end up trying to play the fucking victim. Like, look what happened in motherfucking Berkeley and shit like that with the Antifa bitch and all that, and all that right there. They ran the motherfuckers away. That's why I keep telling them, like, shit, you don't want to fuck with people who have morals and principles, because that's their way of saying, don't piss me off, man. Because if you piss me off, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do to you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid of what I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do to your ass. That's what these kids don't get. The one thing I'll never forget when I seen that footage from Charlottesville that made my blood run cold. I don't dig any of that shit, you know what I'm saying, with rebel flags and whatnot. Yeah,
it's not, I defend it, but it ain't my thing. But
it's like both sides are wrong doing that time right there.
No, Pat, the one thing I'm saying, the way that they did that to these people and the police did it, they had them where they were going out single file through the crowd, and they had it set up so the crowd could attack them. They were hitting them with shit. I'm saying that ain't right. I don't give a fuck what these people's beliefs are. You don't sit there and send them like lambs to the slaughter. That was some wrong shit that they did. And I said, right then and there, I watched what happened. I'm like, the left has lost the argument. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter. I mean, yeah, these people are peckerwoods. That doesn't give you the right to beat on them. And I just seen that happen, and I was like, nah, that's some foul shit. It bothered me so much that that was allowed to happen, that the cops allowed that shit to happen, that the local government allowed that shit to happen. Look, I am all for fucking taking the Klan by their own sheets and fucking smacking the shit out of them, but fucking on a level playing field. Do this shit fair. It's one of them things when I seen them going after these fucking people and single file. Oh, it disgusted me. Like, seriously, have some sportsmanship, for God's sake. That's the only thing. And I tell people this all the time. I didn't agree with any of the shit that those yahoos were down there for. Yeah, they shouldn't be destroying the statues because it's public property. You shouldn't be destroying it because it's a history. But you got these fucking yahoos with their fucking armbands and their flags and shit, which I was annoyed that they showed up with all that crap. But you know what? They're fucking dinks. Don't fucking round them up and we're gonna beat the hell out of them. Come on, for God's sake!
That's what they wanted. Like I told you, they're trying to create these. They're trying to create these, this racial tension and all this shit right here and things like that because Ever since we got Barack Obama and shit like that, even before we got Barack Obama, hell shit. Race tension started going down and all that right there. But it's like after we got that first black president and it kind of made like that was kind of like the nail in the coffin of like, oh, black people can't do nothing. I'm saying can't do such in the world. I'm like, for Christ's sakes, man, I'm saying we ended up getting a fucking black president. You can't get no higher achievement than that right there. Mm-hmm. So they had to create something letting know like, oh, racism still racism still exists and shit like that, but racism is more high than ever and all that right there. When shit started calming down, they had to put it back up because they had nothing fucking better to do. And it's like I said, if you get the most gullible people in the goddamn world to believe that such and such is this and that, then stuff like that is always gonna fucking go down. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They don't fucking think for themselves.
It's just the whole thing of it is with me. I'm a big proponent of sportsmanship. That's just how I am. I like courtesy. I like fair play. That's how I am, and that's part of the reason I have such animosity towards the left. Is if you don't agree with somebody, punch somebody. You don't want to start that. Really, seriously. I mean, look at the right wing guys. To step back for a second, you soy-fed fucks. Really, look at who you're fucking with. I mean, I got a buddy of mine. He's fuck it, I'll say it. He's a biker, big fucking guy, and written across his shoulder blades in Old English lettering, in like 9-inch letters, it says discipline. These are the types of people that these morons are fucking with. I don't understand like what the logic is. You want to poke a bear. Why are you looking for an even sharper stick? That's what these idiots are doing. They're like, oh, this one's wood. No, give me the steel rod. I want to make sure that I get Yogi good. What the fuck?
No, because what they realize, like, because like I told you, mainstream media is on their damn side. It's like they can't do no damn wrong. Even if they're causing the goddamn, like the trouble and all that right there, they know mainstream media is gonna make them look like the damn victim. Like, despite the fact that you done sit up here and you done hit me like 9 or 10 times and I done punched you once and knock you the fuck out and shit like that, I'm going to end up looking like the bad person simply because, hell, I'm on the wrong side of the damn argument. Like, if one of these Antifa fucks come messing with me and things like that, just, I'm saying, poking and I finally knock him the fuck out, mainstream media is going to make it look like, I'm the person in the damn wrong.
Yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, and that's what's wrong with them because they know these types of people on their damn side, so they can they just fuck with whoever. Well, they don't fuck with whoever. They know who and who not to fuck with. They pick their targets carefully, but it's like every once in a while they fuck around. They run up on the wrong damn person, and that person shows them what they all about. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Damn, I forget. That was back 2016 or 17 right there. Yeah, it was 2016 after President Trump got elected and these fucking SJW kids ran across this group of Marines. I think it was down in Florida or whatever. So they was going around doing their little protests and they ran across this pub full of Marines. So the Marines basically came out and supported the motherfucking president. So the police got called. And and they had to form a barrier between the kids. So basically, while the kids over there sitting up there screeching and all that right there, the Marines, they just basically sitting there like I'm saying, yeah, you can scream all you want, but touch us if you bad enough. And the police is just sitting right there just praying something don't go down because they already know if one of these kids would have touched these goddamn Marines, oh man, and it's like I think 30 Marines, and it was like 150 of these kids. I'm like, shit, girl. It could have been 10. It could have been 10 of them goddamn Marines, and they still would have fucked all them damn kids up.
Oh yeah.
And me, I'm just sitting right there too. I know it's jacked up, but I was in my mind. I'm like, ooh, I wish one of these kids had touched them goddamn Marines, because I swear to God, that would be the worst motherfucking ass whooping they ever had. And plus, you had a lot of them in there. They were these fucking Z girl motherfuckers. So you already know, like, oh yeah, touch them people if you bad enough, and see. And you will see how what an ass whooping really feels like. But of course they end up walking off, screaming whatever they was, but they knew not to fuck with them. It's like That's one thing about these little rugrats. They may shoot off at the mouth, but they know who and who not.
Yeah, let me say this. I worked as a bouncer for probably over 15 years on the side, and whenever we had Marines that were giving us trouble, we were able to thankfully diffuse the situation and have them walk out. We never wanted to remove these guys by hand. That is the worst fucking thing to ever have to do is remove a Marine. But oh my fucking God. Oh, I won't even fuck with the Navy SEALs when they came in. You get a handful of them. Like once in a while, you get the SEALs when they rotated back, and yeah. They don't thankfully the SEALs never caused nowhere near as much trouble as the Marines, especially recon. You get recon in, we had a rule at the bar. You find out what branch of the service they're from, and then you find out what subsection they're in, and if they're recon, you got it. You give them a cutoff sooner because once these guys started doing shots, it was over.
Yeah, cause shit.
I remember one time we had this one guy come in, and this is back when they still had 151 where you could get it. And he comes in, and he still got on his BDUs and his boonie hat. And he's like, line them up. I just came back from Fallujah, and I'm only back for 48 hours. And, yeah. I think what it was, he was over at the barracks in Bayshore, and for whatever reason, he had to come back here. They had sent him back to the States for something, and he was going. I think they were sending him off to Kentucky in 48 hours for some shit. And yeah, that was a bad night. This guy actually, I'd never seen this Marine before. He was a big, tall son of a bitch. He was about 6'5", and one of the local guys was in there, and he mouthed off to him, and this guy the Marine wound up putting the local guy's head through the fucking jukebox screen, like face first.
Oh, that's another thing I live for, man. Like when these goddamn soy fucks end up fucking with the military and shit like that, I'm like, dude, don't do that.
This was one of the local tough guys. It was even better. It was more fulfilling. This was one of the guys, like with the scar on his cheek and all the tattoos, and he's a badass, and he's done like 3 or 4 bids, 2-3 years apiece. So he's been in and out of fight the past 8 years. And he got into it with this Marine and went at the Marine, and the Marine basically dislocated his shoulder and his elbow. Like the guy swung at him, and he just grabbed his arm, twisted his arm around, and flung him by his arm face first into the jukebox. Use his own momentum to hurl him.
That's some Krav Maga shit there.
Exactly. The guy ran and threw a punch, and he just twisted his wrist and elbow and shoulder, so they were basically facing in the other direction, and used the momentum in his arm as like a lever, and just hurled him face first into the jukebox.
So I don't fuck with the IDF.
Bro, it was great. He goes it got mad quiet in the bar. Everyone's looking, and he goes like this. I got this round, and he brought everyone around, and it was everyone was like, yeah! It was great because this is how long ago it was. He's sitting there, and I remember, this is the only thing I remember, is this guy fucking slamming drinks and people screaming, ziggy-zuggy, ziggy-zuggy, oi, 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 ziggy-zuggy, ziggy-zuggy, oi, 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 from the Man Show. Oh, man. Fucking love our troops, though. Seriously.
No.
Yeah. There's that one guy, that young guy I watch all the time, Eric July. He's down your way, down in Texas. He goes under the handle of Young Ripper. And I agree with him on what he says about, don't automatically just assume because they're military or police that they're good people. But I'm not going to agree with him when he says don't automatically give them respect, because it's one of those things, they paid their dues. I mean, if he's being a complete asshole, if the guy comes in and he starts pissing on my floor, the respect just went out the window. But,
yeah,
I'm saying...
Yeah. I have the respect for... I have the respect for military. I have the respect for police. I have the respect for firefighters and EMS.
Yeah.
because of what they do for us. And before I forget, Pat, I just want to thank you for your service.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
much
the same
appreciated.
thing.
Like I said, hell, man. I said I enjoyed all them 8 years, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people like that's what I'm saying, and of course, like I said, a lot of people who don't appreciate like the military and all these things that I'm saying people you basically going out and doing for them and shit like that. That's because these motherfuckers have never had to really like defend.
My kitty says hello, and she thanks you for your service too, because when you protect America, you protect Cat America too.
Yeah, I'm saying. And that's something like I'm saying, you'll never see these you never see these motherfuckers ever do. Like, they quick the goddamn bash, but when push comes to goddamn shove, who the fuck do they hide behind?
Yep. That's why I don't
I
respect
think.
a lot of that's why I don't respect these leftists. And
Mhm.
I know I sound really edgy sometimes, and which isn't an intention. And I know a lot of times I sound like really hyperbolic, but you gotta understand I mean, think of Austin and then just multiply it by like 10,000, and you'll maybe get an idea of what it's like to live around these people. They're just so fucking disgusting. And like I was walking Patches the other day, we're in the dog park. And that part of the neighborhood, that's Gardner Park. That's over in the Bayshore Brightwater area. That's actually out of my neighborhood. That's like a couple of towns over. And it's over by where the George Washington slept here house. And I'm walking Patches, and for those of you who don't know, I have an American flag on my cane, and Patches has an American flag bandana on his collar, which also is an American flag. I'm very
Mhm.
I'm very patriotic. I'm borderline jingoistic at times. So I'm walking him through the park, and this woman sees my dog and says to her husband, "Oh, look, that dog has an American flag on its collar." And I look at her and like I say it, I scream it too, and my wife yells at me. I go, "Yeah, that's right, America." I normally like I'm one of those people. I don't like that America shit. Like it kind of annoys me. But I
Mhm.
just what you got to understand the way she said that about my dog, and then pursed her lips like she wanted to spit. I couldn't resist. And you guys got to remember, I also look like a pirate in real life, so I probably scared the shit out of her. It's just it's one of those things, like look, you don't gotta love the country.
Does she scream parlay?
you know, I'm saying you don't gotta love the country, but it's one of those things like, why do you gotta hate the country? Seriously, I don't understand that. There's nothing to hate about it.
Mhm.
They tell you the whacked out reasons they hate this country.
But yet they
Like,
won't leave. But yet they won't leave this motherfucker and go nowhere else.
yeah, you know, I'm sure everyone is familiar at this point with bunny-eyed Booker, good old Cory Booker. I can't stand that bunny-eyed
Oh,
fuck.
that
I
bitch.
cannot stand him. So, I, it's the weirdest thing. You look at Cory Booker, he looks like he's had all his plastic surgery done. No, that's just what he naturally looks like, which is kind of disturbing. But anyway, um, the newest thing he's pushing is reparations. And there's this other guy I watch. I watch him. My mother loves him. Jericho Green. He's from SoCal, and he even said he's like it's a catch-22. He's like, because I would be applicable for those reparations. He's like, but I ain't gonna touch him. He's like, you know why? Because I didn't earn it. Like I have a job for a reason. You earn your money. He's like, you do the right thing, and he was giving it a breakdown. But even more so than the fact of us, like, he's like, he said, I haven't ever picked any cotton. He's like, I didn't pick any tobacco. He's like, nobody whipped me. He's like, I never had any change. He's like, what the hell would I need reparations for? I was never enslaved. He's like, no one in my family was. He's like, going back until about 150 years ago. He's like, that's when it ended. He said they should have handed it out then. And my thing I've said, and I've said this before on the air, these Democrats, they really want to bankrupt the country because when you give reparations to black folks, okay, what about the Irish? What about the Chinese? What about, this group or that group? I mean, you can start picking different groups in different areas of the country who got fisted at one point or another, and we're going to wind up owing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said you want to give reparations to a community. I got a great idea. Why don't we improve the community? Well, Scoob, how do we improve the community? Well, first we get rid of the Democrats. That's the first thing that'll improve any community. If it's run down, look who's running it down. Get rid of them. Seriously. Like, I tell people all the time, you want reparations? How about this? You give a good educational system. You make sure that there's a good nutritional component in the school also. You make sure that the phys ed is not just the cheapest shit. Look, this is a thing a lot of people don't realize. The reason that the black community has always been synonymous with basketball is simply because it's the cheapest fucking thing that the schools could do. The government is cheap as fuck. Well, we need to give them phys ed. What's cheap? Basketball. You get a fucking piece of concrete, 2 hoops, nets, and a ball. It's the cheapest fucking thing. That's the reason that they did that. I mean, it's the same thing. If the area has a field, they get a baseball diamond because it's fucking dirt. It's whatever's cheapest. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize, up until the 1950s, and this is actually a thing, look this up, the Jewish community was known for being really good at basketball because so many Jewish people lived in the inner city. And because, again, the government was being cheap as fuck and was only providing basketball. So everyone thought that basketball was a Jewish sport until about the late 1940s. It's a known fact. Look it up. This is like what people see about these different groups. They don't realize it's because of where each group is, and it's because the government is running things and they're running it poorly. That's what the thing is. And I hate saying it, like they talk about white privilege. I call it stacking the deck. And it's, again, the Democrats trying to turn people against each other. It's the reason that they've been all of a sudden in the past 20, 30 years, they've been hooking up the white schools really good and hooking up the black schools really bad, specifically if they're next to each other. And why is it it's always in the Democrat? It's in the Democrat neighborhoods. No, this is some fucking conniving shit. It's like George Carlin said, keep us all fighting so they can run off with the money. I'm not letting anybody fist me up the ass. I'm sorry. Fuck these people. I don't know who the fuck they think they are. I wasn't born yesterday.
Yeah. And the wild part is, like, when it comes to reparation and shit like that, it's like how you said, Scoob, like, if you're gonna give reparations and all that right there, give it in the form of, like I'm saying, like the educational system, or saying, something like the food. Don't do it in any, I'm saying, in money right there, because like I said, because it's like this. Once you give somebody money and shit like that they haven't fucking earned, they're just gonna expect you to keep on doing it right there. If they was to do that to black people, kind of like how they doing right now. What up,
Pat? It goes back to the Bible. You give a man a fish, he'll feed himself for a day. You teach a man a fish, he'll feed himself for a lifetime.
Yeah. And that's what it is. Like, and that's kind of like right now with the welfare. So if you got so many goddamn black people in the goddamn system now, that's what they expect. They expect all these little small handouts right there, so they don't get out there and they don't earn their damn keep. They expect the government to rely upon them, and that's the reason why a lot of black people are really down in the dumps in the system of how they are right now, because that's why I say it's like with this whole reparation thing, it's like that's the reason why I don't like it, because that's all it basically does right there. It'll just basically keep the black community down and expecting all these little handouts and shit like that without earning a damn thing in life. And it keeps them lazy, and it keeps them dependable on them. And only fools, fall for that shit right there.
You know what I'd like? I was thinking about what you said, and I'm thinking about it. Like with the education, why not, take these schools, blow them the fuck out, give them like a really banging auto shop, give them a really good recording studio like they have at the mass media schools, give them a good wood shop, give them a good like metal shop. Let these kids, it's like what Mike Rose said. Everyone in America is ashamed to let their kids learn how to work with their hands. Seriously, let these
Wait,
young
what did
kids
Mike
learn
Rose
a
say?
trade. Mike Rowe is like, he said a lot of people don't want their kids to learn how to learn a trade. They don't want their kids to learn how to work with their hands. I hate saying it, may he rest in peace. My father kind of fucked me over royally because he didn't want me to learn how to work on a car because he didn't want me to become a mechanic. My father, you got to understand, my father was the child of immigrants. And my father's father was a tailor. And my father was a truck driver who was a fisherman on the side. My father wanted me to be a scientist. His thing was he wanted me to go into the Navy. He wanted me to be the captain of a ship specifically that was on like one of those scientific missions that the Navy has. That's what he wanted me to go in. He wanted me to go in for officer candidacy school into
So
the
basically,
Navy.
you want you to be a Starfleet officer. Got it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what he want.
Yep.
That's what he groomed me for my entire life, and that's part of the reason why I talk to people about a lot of things. That's why I'm knowledgeable of so much shit when it comes to the water and boats and shit. Is because that's what my father was pushing me towards. My father only wanted me to speak English. He didn't want me to be like some other dumb Dago kid. He wanted me to be an American kid. That's part of the reason. Like he really put like there was certain trappings like at the house we didn't have American food. It's just my father couldn't eat the shit. He could not stomach American food. He hated it. But other than the cuisine, he really raised me as American as someone like him could. Again, you got to realize what part of the country I'm from. So I had told Six up until I think I was nearly 30. I was convinced that it was actually like standard etiquette in Texas to, at the end of a conversation, in celebration, you take out your sidearms and fire a few shots in the air. I really thought that was a cultural thing at one point.
That does sound fun, though.
It really does. Yeah, but again, that's how he had raised me. Was he wanted me to like? If you ever seen the movie The Godfather,
Baby
Vito.
father, the screen is stuck focusing on you. Unflick yourself.
Oh, there you go. If you ever watched the movie The Godfather, Vito Corleone says to Michael, he says, "I didn't ever want this for you. I wanted you to be, like a politician, Senator Corleone, Governor Corleone." He's like, "I didn't want this life for you." That's kind of like that. That's a thing. A lot of people who come to this country, that's what they want for their children, and it's unfortunate that my father pushing me so hard to get into academia did not realize that there was going to be a glut in academia. I wasn't going to be able to find a position, and I would have been better off learning auto mechanics just because now, by me, I think it's $250 an hour for labor. So I can't even afford to get my car fixed. So I really do think that they should. I mean, that's one of the things I really, honestly, am saying these kids should learn. Maybe just make auto shop mandatory, just because you get slaughtered if you got to fix your car. I really hate saying it,
Oh, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say that there's this kid that I talk to at work a lot, and so we do talk about trade schools quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have some understanding of what it's like here in Texas, but I have no idea what the landscape is in New York State, what the trade schools are like up there.
We got Job Corps.
Okay.
So do we.
Yeah. We're spoiled for choice up here when it comes to anything. Like I went to BOCES when I was in high school. L.A. Wilson Tech over in Dix Hills. It's funny because where that school is located, it's surrounded by all of the Def Jam and Nervous recording artists. They all live out there, like LL Cool J, Nicki Minaj. They all live in that neighborhood. But that's that trade school is Five Town. Not Five Town. Excuse me. That's BOCES, and then they have Job Corps upstate, which is well, Terry, you know what Job Corps is. It's basically like a sleepaway school, except you're learning a trade.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like I had a few friends who went to Job Corps. The guy I was really good friends with, the guy actually I got patches off of his brother. He went to Job Corps for carpentry. Yeah, I'm all for them actually expanding the education for these kids. And if they really want to, again, the thing with reparations that pisses me off is, again, you're going to go after different Americans. My family's only been here since the 1930s. And as far as I know, there has never been any slave masters with names like, Di Pasquale or Rigoletto or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we didn't have anything to do with it. That's all I'm saying. Like, they're going to come knocking on my door. You got to throw into the pot. Fuck, I do. I didn't have no slaves, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to come after me. Are they going to bother the Puerto Ricans? Are they going to bother the Chinese people? Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just such a mess.
They come up to me, I'm going to look at them and go, I'm sorry, Master Stuff. I don't know nothing.
But, like, the other thing I'm curious about is, what about all the people who are like, what about Van Jones's kids? His wife is as white as the driven snow, and you look at him, he looks like Michael Jordan's nerdy brother. I mean, how are his kids this gonna affect them? I mean, they're gonna give him the check and say, okay, you can't cash this. I mean, well, what the fuck? I mean, what?
Baby brother,
what?
Put your cursor over your avatar in the Hangout and click on it, because the entire chat is focusing on you.
Not that you want lovely and handsome and all that kind of stuff, but
but you know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. I don't understand how the hell the Democrats think they're gonna pull this off. There's just too much of a mess to it.
Okay, I don't know why it's still showing me.
I don't know either.
Might just be Google Hangouts.
Yeah, because
sometimes.
Because on my screen, it's just showing Pat. Yeah, I don't know why either. Like I clicked it a few times, and for whatever reason, it's just showing you. It's Google Hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, whatever. I'm not going to complain. It's free shit.
They can still hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously. What? I'm not going to stop bitching. Oh, the free stuff I'm using isn't working right.
Well, it looks like you'll just have to get over the face of insanity.
Actually, looks like one of my nephews. So
I rest my case.
Yeah, he's also got no nose either. I mean, he has a nose, but you know what I mean. He's got like a little button nose. He don't have a gun handle in his face like me.
Well, at least you never worry about him getting into your business.
Get through that. Nah, I think I told you about him, Six. He's the one that's a degenerate gambler. My poor sister, she got cursed. She's got the one son, that big fucking hoop. All he ever does is play video games all day. I didn't see the kid for 9 months. I go to, and all of a sudden he comes upstairs. I'm like, holy shit, you still live here? And I'm like, what do you want? He's like, yo, you got any Newports, motherfucker? No, I got no Newports. You know I don't smoke. I'm like, well, what good are you then? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. But then it's the other one. Her other kid is the one that I'm talking about. He gambler. This kid all day fucking playing cards or playing dice. Works, but then gambles. I don't understand that shit myself. I used to tell him all the time. I'd hold out my hand. He'd go, what? I'm like, you're throwing money away anyway. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's like that one guy. I seen it and I laughed my ass off. The girl who worked at 7-Eleven up the block from me was talking about, she's like, no one from New York ever wins the lottery. That's why I never play it. And I go and I see this fucking thing, and a guy up in Harlem won the lottery, and he took his lottery winnings and went to Vegas.
A fool and his money are soon parted.
Exactly. That's the one thing I thought of. I'm like, wow.
Well,
Why
if I'm
you
gonna go
gonna
to
go to-
Vegas, I'm not gonna take it all.
Took the whole thing with him and went to Vegas. 37 million. I guarantee you, he came back Monday broke.
God,
Wow.
that's some folks, man. Shit.
As
Yeah, I know.
baroque as a Renaissance painting.
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I used to go to AC. I'd go to AC. I'd probably drop maybe $20 a day gambling. I'd hit the penny slots. I'd put the 20 in the machine. If I ran out, I ran out.
Yeah.
They fucking
I know
hated me.
Well, next
I
time
know
you're
my
down
luck.
there, take your GoPro. I want to see the boardwalk.
I was thinking of doing that actually because the weather's getting nicer now.
Yeah. Like I said, I do want to go to Vegas though, because I want to visit that wax museum.
Oh,
Well, Madame Tussauds?
Yeah, Madame Tussauds.
Yeah. We got one of them up here.
What a Madame Tussauds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have
I went in it
a,
about 25 years ago, maybe. But I think I was on mescaline at the time, so I don't remember it. Yeah, the 90s were a trip for me.
Yeah, talking about the I think the last time where they had that I think the last time I heard about them where they had that big scandal with the Nicki Minaj, you know, the Nicki Minaj wax model that people kept kind of like, fucking sexually abusing and shit.
Well, can't say I blame him. I mean, she is built for speed.
Yeah, because it was basically like, it was basically, the one that she did like when she took that picture for Anaconda for Anaconda like CD.
Yeah.
And so yeah, people were just practically damn near raping them off. so they ended up, and of course, SJWs got pissed off like a motherfucker. So they ended up basically taking it down because they were basically showing pictures of like people basically grabbing their hair in a doggy style position, just putting their tongue up there in their face and their ass and shit like that. Which I'm pretty sure Dickie wouldn't mind, but of course, somebody's got to fucking screech. Yeah.
yeah.
She lives out by me now, too. I kind of feel bad, though. Like, there's a lot of fucked up shit with that family. Like, you heard about her brother, right?
Oh.
Yeah, he's doing something like 25 years. He raped like the 7-year-old niece or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, they're from, what are they, Trinbago or whatever? Which is,
Trinidad and Tobago.
something like that. I don't fucking know. Like, she's actually, I want to say Hindu or Hindi. I forget what her nationality is. But, like, that's actually, like, her real name is something like, it's something Indian. I hate saying it, but that explains, that caboose she's got going on. Then those Hindu girls, bro, you wouldn't think it because you see them Hindu girls always wearing all them like those robes and shit. You ever see one of those girls when they're not in one of those outfits? Man, holy shit!
Yeah.
That's the reason why she pulled. Is that the reason why she pulled the Chun-Li shit?
Yeah, she's actually, I guess, Southeast Asian.
So she's Blasian.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'll be right back, guys. The damn dog.
I know, like I said, because she pulled the Chun-Li shit. Nobody said nothing, but as soon as the one girl did the little Chinese dress prom, everybody screeched like a motherfucker because shit, one was black and the other one was white. How dare you culture appropriate? But yeah, you ain't said nothing about Nikki right here. And I'm saying, and she's slutting up the shit. At least the other girl here, had the traditional, she had the traditional Chinese dress on.
Yeah, these people just love to complain. That's their nature. I'll be right back.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, I gotta let Patches out. I'll be right back.
Anything to fucking screech, like this is this and this and that and all that right there. And like I said, and it's sad because, like I said, it's just mostly like I'm saying, white people basically trying to act woke and doing for the diversity point. Because I don't know, somebody was showing me. Oh yeah, I was watching no bullshit. One of his videos did talking about the whole share thing, like how like ever since like President Trump talking about, all right, we're gonna have all these illegals in here and things like that. Since y'all want them so bad, we're gonna dump them in all these sanctuary states. Now all of a sudden, everything that they've been fucking screeching and virtue signaling for, it's like now all of a sudden it's a bad thing, like no,
because it's all NIMBY, which means not in my backyard.
Yeah, exactly. And he showed this one video. I don't know, it was in like another country or whatever. I forgot what it was. Where they were talking about where they have a refugee problem and all that right there. And they're talking about, and there was this one dude, he was just like basically, like talking to people and saying like, basically asking like, like with all the refugees, like I said, if you had a chance of taking a refugee, would you, and all that right there. And of course, they all giving all the same, it's, oh yes, I would help a refugee out anytime and all that right there. But so they had a dude basically like come in like, all right, so this is such and such, he's a refugee, and like, would you mind if he come in today? And then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, I can't because it's difficult. And so it's like, oh, so yeah, when you was on camera, and I'm saying,
they're all they're all sunshine and roses until you mention, oh yeah, they're gonna move right next door to you.
Yes. And like I say, and then all of a sudden, like I say, oh, now everybody want to think about the homeless. Oh, now you want to think about the veterans and shit like that. Especially people like Sharon, Alyssa Milano, and all these left-leaning motherfucking celebs and shit like that, who have basically been screaming open borders all this goddamn time, knowing that they live in these goddamn gated communities. And now I'm saying that's the shit that really got pointed out right there. And that's the thing I give Trump props for, because he knows how to expose these assholes and shit like that.
Yeah. Calling them out on their bullshit.
Yeah, and
exposing their hypocrisy. And their true attitude. Their true
exactly. Attitude. And we already knew this right there, but it just feels so wonderful just to see these motherfuckers go back on their goddamn word, because that's all they did right there. all these motherfuckers screech, open borders, and if I had the chance, I'd take in as many refugees as they can. Like, yeah, especially like people like, like J.K. Rowling and sharing them and all that right there. Oh, now you got the goddamn chance. What are you doing?
Yeah. So wasn't it George Clooney that he was living in Italy, but then all of a sudden the influx of the Syrian migrants. Oh, he's pulling up stakes and getting the fuck out of there.
But it's like how you said, everything I'm saying, as long as they getting like the woke virtue signaling points and shit like that and getting people to kiss their ass, they sitting up here saying all this damn stuff. But when it comes saying, well, when it came time to practice what they damn preach, what do all of them do? What are all of them doing right now? Now all of a sudden, like I said, this mass immigration is a bad thing, because they didn't because they didn't think it was gonna come in their backyard. But now that I'm saying that it is, or at least threatening to come into their backyard, oh, now it's a bad thing. Like I told you.
It goes back to that phrase. Oh, it's good for thee, but not for me.
Mm-hmm. Because what it is, they want this mass migration to come in, like I said, and they want to put them in all the red states in order to turn them blue. Mm-hmm. That's what their plan was, But their plan wasn't, like I said, to put them in the shit where they goddamn live. That's the reason why they live in motherfucking gated communities, to get rid of people who they just consider, is basically below. And that's why I said, that's why I don't trust none. That's why I don't trust none of these celebrities, or at least the majority of them, because when they give their fucking opinions online or whatever shit like that, because you already know it's fucking garbage. That's why I don't watch none of these award shows and shit like that, because that ain't nothing but a bunch of celebrities just jacking each other off, trying to see who can be the fucking woke.
Yep. Yeah.
All of them are full of fucking crap, and that's why I don't like them. Like I say, like hell, fuck Cheryl, fuck Alyssa Milano, fuck any of these goddamn left-leaning celebrities, because they don't believe a goddamn thing what they fucking saying.
Yeah.
And to the idiots who actually do believe them, I'm saying, they're even worse.
Exactly. There was a time when I used to care about who won the Grammys, who won the Oscars. So who even won the MTV Awards? There was a time when I used to give a shit about that.
Yeah, that's when I'm saying they did shit based upon talent, but now it's just, like I said, it's just a fucking virtue signaling contest now.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a money contest.
Who can cry the ugliest and who can cry the loudest?
Mm-hmm. And that's why when I see any of these celebrities giving their public opinion, I'm just like, no, that's not a person giving their opinion. That's a person who's trying to keep their motherfucking job or who's trying to keep their status. Cause just think, any celebrity that's ever come out conservative and right there, they are just fucking blacklisted. Like I said, people like Kaya Jones, James Woods, Joy Villa, Antonio Sabato Jr., the ones that proudly came out.
Dean Cain, Kevin Sorbo, John Boyd.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
Bing Raines.
All of them blacklisted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have been blacklisted by the industry whatsoever. That's why I say, like anytime I see these motherfuckers here on Krill talking about fuck Trump and, and all this shit right there, anything left-leaning celebrity, I'm like, that is a person that is trying to keep their damn job or trying to keep their shit open to the fact where it's like, if Hollywood has a job opening, they're going to be one of the first in line because I'm saying they virtue signal the fucking loudest.
Yeah. And it's sad. There's many, many more conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
Even people, classical liberals, anybody that's right of these far left people. They're essentially held hostage. They know that if they want to work, they have to toe the party line, even though it's not who they vote for. It's not who they they have to walk that walk.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks.
Yeah,
that's the reality of that industry.
Yeah. Even when you see like these up and coming directors and actors and actresses and fucking rappers and comedians and shit like that, and they're all going like, like fuck Trump and white nationalists and all that right there and punching Nazi and all that bullshit. I'm like, no, I don't believe none of it. Because like I said, that's just them trying to get their foot in the door. Like I told them, if you're a Hollywood celebrity or you're up and comer, you gotta number one, you gotta hate President Trump. Number two, you gotta think, like black people need reparations. You gotta think all this, you gotta think all this left-leaning nonsense.
Yeah. So you gotta walk the way they walk and talk the way they talk. Because if you don't get paid.
Mm.
You don't get the jobs. You don't get the offers. And
oh no. So like I said, like Joy Villa is like, she may, she may get like them like them invites and shit like that and everything, but it's like number one, she never win nothing, she never get nominated. She hardly gets bookings and things like that because like I said, she's been totally blacklisted because of her, because of her politics. But it's like regardless of that, she's stuck by him. Her, Kaya Jones. The only reason why James Woods, I'm saying because James Woods, he's in like what the fuck you money status. So it's like hell, he's been acting all his damn life. So it's like hell, you don't give a fuck if Hollywood blacklists him. Shit, he's got fuck no
courage. Yeah, it takes no courage to say what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of
it
James
takes
Woods,
courage.
I still don't know why you fucking blocked me.
What up?
James Woods blocked me on Twitter.
What?
Who's James Woods?
I'm gonna smack you.
Oh. God damn.
Is he related to Tiger Woods?
God, no. He hates
boy.
Hey, you don't know who the fuck James Woods is?
No.
Oh, goddamn, man.
He's never seen John Carpenter's Vampires.
Joe, come on.
The guy's a legend in the movie.
I'm starting to question that if I haven't heard of him.
What movies do you watch? Oh, that's...
well, how young are you?
Six. You and I are good with movies. Help me.
What's that?
Help me come up with movies to tell my brother that he's been in.
He was in Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in The Hard Way. He was also let's see, what else was he in?
Yeah, I know Assassin's Creed.
No, Assassin.
No, Assassins. Not that I'm saying.
With Sylvester Stallone, Antonio Banderas, 1995.
I know
The
so
Hard
much
Way
Stallone.
with Michael J. Fox, 1990, I want to say.
I'm cheating. I'm pulling up IMDb.
Let's see.
There's Casino. You know, he voiced Hades and Hercules. And
Yeah. Let's see. What else was he?
Wait, he played Hercules in Casino?
No, he
He was in a really.
voiced.
in the movie Hercules,
Though I can't remember what the
Which
movie
movie,
was
Hercules?
the Disney animation.
Oh.
but he
Mhm.
played an attorney.
He was in Videodrome.
Yeah,
Yep.
Videodrome.
He's
He was,
in Kingdom Hearts 3 as Hades.
Yep.
Justice League as Lex Luthor. Dice. He plays James Woods in Family Guy.
Tara, what was the movie that he was in? I want to say 1987, where he played an attorney for a guy that was accused of murder.
He's been in 143 movies, so give me a minute.
Damn.
All right. An attorney accused of murder. I don't know because you're not giving me the name of it.
Not. He's representing somebody who was accused of murder. An Asian kid.
All right. I'm just going to name off movies.
Okay.
All the Way Home, The Visitors, Hickey and Boggs, Footsteps, and a Great American, The Way We Are, The Rockford Files, The Gambler, Kojak,
True Believer.
Black Potter,
True Believer, I believe it is.
Streets of San Francisco, The Rookies.
Is that 87?
89.
89. Okay. Well,
Night
I was a little off there.
Foster and Laurie, F. Scott Fitzgerald in Hollywood, Distance, Disappearance of Amy, Raid on Antifa, Police Story, Robert D'Angelo / Superstar, Barnaby Jones, Alex and the Gypsy, Choir Boys, Family, The Gift of Love, $1 Billion Bubble, Holocaust, The Onion Field, The Incredible Journey of Dr. Meg Laurel, and Your Name is Jonah, Young Maverick, Black Marble, Eyewitness, Split Image, Fast Walking, Videodrome, Once Upon a Time in America, Against All Odds, Joshua Then and Now, Cat's Eye, Badge of the Assassin, Salvador, Promise, In Love and War, Bestseller, The Boost, Pop, True Believer, My Name is Bill W., Immediate Family, Women and Men, Stories of Seduction, The Hard
I forgot he was in John Q. I forgot he was in John
The
Q.
Boys, Citizen John, Chaplin, Fallen Angels, Dream On, The Specialist, The Simpsons, The Getaway, Next Door, James House.
Oh yeah, he did have a cameo in The Simpsons.
Nixon,
Mm-hmm.
Killer, A Journal of a Murderer, Indictment, For Better or For Worse, Casino,
Yep.
The Summer of Ben Tyler, Ghosts of Mississippi, Kicked in the Head, Hercules, 1997, Hercules 1997, the video game, and Disney's animated storybook Hercules. Contact, he was in Contact. I don't remember him being in Contact. John Carpenter's Vampires, he played Jack Crow. Light of Darkness, or Light and Darkness, Disney's Hades Challenge, another video game. Another Day in Paradise, True Crime, The Virgin Suicides, The General's Daughter, Play It to the Bone, Hooves of Fire.
Oh yeah, Play It to the Bone.
Zero to Hero played Hades.
Are you reading this in alphabetical order or chronological? You're not. This is not chronological. Really?
Yes. I started from the very first appearance that it had listed on Any Given Sunday, Dirty Pictures, Scary Movie 2, Riding in Cars with Boys, Recess Schools Out, Race to Space, Mickey's House of Villains as Hades, Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within, General Hein. Baby brother, I know you've seen that.
Yeah, he
Which
did.
one?
Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. He played.
So you're reading off all of James Woods' voiceover credits?
No, all his
He was in
Grand Theft Auto. He was in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yep, and Grand Theft, both of them. Let's see. He's in Kingdom Hearts, always as Hades.
Oh yeah.
He was in Scarface video game, Entourage, Endgame, ER, Surf's Up, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Shark as Sebastian Stark, An American Carol, iCarly, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts Coded, Justice League. He plays Owlman, Too Big to Fail, Straw Dogs, Sorcerers of Magic, Homa, White House Down, Ray Donovan, Officer Down, Mary and Martha, Jobs, Kingdom Hearts, Jamesy Boy, Family Guy, Blink, Justice,
Oh yeah. Ooh, piece of
Justice
candy.
Action, Dice, and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Who forget piece of candy right there? Oh shit.
My brother doesn't know who James Woods is.
You poor boy.
It's not funny. He's a really good actor. I still
Yeah.
don't understand why he blocked me on Twitter.
Well,
Because
because
I don't know who he is.
James Woods blocked you on Twitter probably because you don't like Trump.
What'd you say, Tara?
All I messaged him, the last thing I said to him was, if there was going to be another John Carpenter vampires movie, continuing off where the one you were in left off, would you do it? Would you play Jack Crow?
You must have asked that question when people were bombarding with some anti-Trump shit.
I must have, because I didn't say anything anti-Trump. Scoop, all of you have seen my Twitter. I rarely say anything anti-Trump.
You must have went through your Twitter feed. I've warned you.
Yeah.
I tell you.
He actually said something to me.
What did he say to you?
I said he should have. Because I
What
would
if he's
have
using a block
it's not
list?
that I dislike him as the president. I just don't like him as a person.
Well, don't worry. You'll get over it once you finally meet him.
What if he's using a block list?
I said, some probably can shit. I think right now the only celebrity that ever blocked me is Tara Strong. she got really pissed off at me, boy.
What'd you do?
I had made that one video when she had got into it with what's that dude named Kyle Kusev? I can't say his last fucking name, but he's one of those Parkland. He's one of those Parkland survivors.
Okay.
Opposite of saying David Hogg boy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, basically like Kyle and some dude got into it because Kyle called out Alyssa Milano and her virtue signaling and shit like that, and this dude wanted to fucking white knight for her. And so basically, Kyle gave him a little taste of his own damn medicine. So a lot of people basically started going at the other dude. And so the dude tried to play fucking victim and tried to talking about, oh, I'm saying, your people are coming after me, all bonding me, this and that and everything. I'm a cancer survivor and all this boop and stuff like that. Basically try to play victim. And of course, Tara saw, she saw an opportunity to be the perfect fucking shield maiden. So she came in acting like a complete ass and all this shit right there. And so, I forgot what the fuck I said. Damn. But I had made a video about it and hold it right there. Basically calling her out and saying what the fuck did I say? I gotta look that shit up. But eventually, I ended up posting up on Twitter and I tagged both Kyle, the dude, and Tara up in there and shit like that. And I got a reply from both Kyle and the other dude, and basically it was the guy basically saying, me and Kyle talked and we all good, and like I said, and we're eventually going to end up hosting a fundraiser together. And it's like, if you like to join, like I said, let me know. I'm like, cool, just hit me the link when y'all doing it. Of course, it's like when I dropped it right there and everything, Tara fucking blocked me right then and there, and I'm like, really? I'm like, oh shit. Blocked by Twilight Sparkle. I guess friendship is magic. It isn't magic after all. Because ever since she went full fucking libtard, that's what a lot of people have basically been telling me. It's like I used to be a fan of the show until she did that right there. And I'm like, I still watch the show from time to time because shit, it's a really great show. But I'm not gonna stop doing it just because one of them just went full idiot.
That's cool. We actually had to do a thing. We did a whole show about it. Six could tell you because I didn't know anything about this guy other than that he used to be from around here, and this comedian Michael Ian Black, and Six will get such a kick out of this. Yeah, I told him like he said there's something really nasty about the president. And so I wrote to him, making America great again, you poofy spaz. And I got suspended off of Twitter for that from him. And the one that got me kicked off, like they said, your account is permanently suspended, was Cynthia Nixon was running for for governor of my state. And she put out this tweet about how, because she used to be Miranda on Sex and the City. And she goes, I'm going to work as hard as Miranda did on Sex in the City as your governor in office if you elect me. So I sent her this gif of Miranda on Sex in the City having sex. And I said, hey, if you're going to work this hard in office, you got my vote. And she reported my ass. And I got thrown off of Twitter.
I don't see why, because I'm saying she practically set herself up for it, because that's all Miranda really did was slap the fuck around. That's so you gotta sleep your way to the top. These people are such idiots because, like I said, they don't realize what the hell they be saying because they're so used to kiss ass praises. But they can't take what they dish out, man.
Oh yeah. And I'm glad she lost. Holy shit! I mean,
man, she
would have been the worst thing for this state because she was. And I say this as it's no secret. I've been open about it for a while now. I'm a progressive liberal for Trump because most, like 99.9% of people who identify as progressive and liberal tend to be out of their fucking minds. But I'm one from the past, I'm 40 now. So this is how I've thought for the past 30 some odd years. I'm not going to just change my entire way of thinking because everyone else that used to be in the same areas. I'm basically sitting in an area of McDonald's and I'm the only one sitting there. Like every other seat is empty because they all went the fuck out the window. That's basically the best way to think of it. They all went crazy. But this broad is extra. I mean, holy shit, is she progressive. I'll be honest, I'm not saying it's trying to be snide when I say her daughter or son, because her child is trans. I don't know how the kid started off, because I can't tell what the fuck it wound up as. So that's and this was the woman who was going to run my state, the state that invented the 85 genders. We didn't need her. That's like, the ship is sinking and you go down into the fucking, the stern and you start firing holes into it with a fucking shotgun. That's basically what the equivalent of if this woman would have gotten elected would have happened. So holy shit, we dodged a bullet with that one. And you know what? I'd like to think that maybe it was the shit I sent her on Twitter. I don't think it was, but it's Jesus, the fucking country we live in, man. The fucking world we live in. Crazy shit. Ugh. If I would have told my guidance counselor in high school that while I had worked on my career for a few years, it would have culminated in me getting into an argument on Twitter with a woman who used to be on a cable show who was running for governor of my state, that I was sending her nude pictures of herself. I think that my guidance counselor would have told me to leave.
Your aspirations are unrealistic.
Yeah, right? I swear. just you think about it now, the state of politics nowadays. I mean, I was looking last night again at that video of like Burnside when we went to Moore 2 years ago, when that wild-eyed crazy woman is in the audience screaming at him.
Mhm.
And then you just look at the outfit that he's wearing up on the stage, and then you look at the outfit that she's wearing that she's screaming at him, and you look at all the outfits that all these people are wearing that are around her, and you look at the video footage, and then I was looking at the video footage for like the Battle of Berkeley. What we really, those I'll give these new guys credit with this clown world shit that they came up with. I think that this is something that no one noticed for a while, but yeah, I think that's pretty much on the money. Holy shit, is it a circus?
Yep.
And I'm just so glad we got ringside seats.
Next to the popcorn vendor.
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of circus, hey Tara, where's your pudding?
I don't fucking know.
I hope he's all right.
He was probably forced into driving somewhere again.
Poor bastard. Oh, wait, I just realized something. I got his phone number. I'm going to call him. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I called him earlier.
So we are looking at less than 9 days until the Avengers Endgame.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yeah. What they ever do about that when it came to Brie Larson's dumb ass?
Well, given that Endgame was her parts in Endgame were actually shot before she went off to do the Captain Marvel movie, so I don't know exactly what direction they're going to take her role in the film will
There was
be.
rumor that they did 2 different sets for her. Like one for if Captain Marvel was successful, and one which has her less prominent in Avengers if Captain Marvel was not very successful.
Now the jury's still out whether or not it was successful. I know the money figure they've attached to it, but I don't know. I couldn't say I'm 100% that some rather creative things were going on.
Well, I'm guessing they're going to go with the successful version if she says the line. Well, if she said the line, "You guys failed because you didn't have me in the trailer."
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see that, and you will certainly be hearing from my evil clone and the good director Arcater about about how we feel about
Ant-Man up his ass. Can we do that to Captain Marvel?
Oh my god! It's like she actually said that. No, she actually said if this movie fails, it's gonna be because you didn't have me in the trailer.
They're in some kind of briefing room planning their attack, and Steve Banner. Wait, is his name Steve Banner?
Bruce Banner.
Yeah, Bruce Banner says that. How do we know this isn't going to play like the last time? And she says, last time you didn't have me.
Oh well. So
yeah.
So well, she's really
arrogant,
laying on a bit thick there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I finally found I finally found that tweet that I was talking about that got me blocked by Tara Stone. Yeah, what all got started about that day is Alyssa Milano, she had dropped down something talking about what would be the rock bottom, what would be like the rock bottom of our nation. And Cal had replied like, "You being elected to Congress," and I mean, people just yeah, people
Oh,
like to
Jesus,
retweet
man, I
the
was
hell out of
drinking soda.
that. Yeah, so people like that. I mean, man, they just clowned the hell out of that shit right there. And of course, like this dude by the name of Gino Carter, who's like a big fan of Alyssa Milano, he came in trying to fucking white knight. Kyle gave him a taste of his own medicine, and then, like I told you, the dude tried to play victim. That's when Tara Strong came in, being the fucking shield maiden that she was, took Kyle's tweets out of context. Talking about, like, how dare you talk to this dude like this? He is a cancer patient survivor and all that right there, and you're calling him stupid about and all this. So I had chimed in. I'm just like Tara, if you look at the retweets, you can see how this stuff went down. Dude came in white knight for Alyssa Milano, and when Kyle asked him a question about his politics, he diverted and tried to play the victim. And then you came in trying to shield maiden for him and shit like that, and then took him totally out of context. And I told him, I love you as a voice actor, but I got to call your bullshit out. That's what she blocked me for.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of these people they don't like being contradicted.
Hmm.
They certainly don't like their mistakes pointed out.
Yes.
So
yeah, especially when you point out their mistakes.
Yeah, because they live in insulation.
Mm-hmm. But at least Kyle and the other dude, like I said, they had tweeted me in their appreciation of things like that. And I don't know if they ever did do that fundraiser together or whatever, because. But that was the thing right there. It's like, so far, that's like the only celebrity ever actually blocked my motherfucking ass. Well, besides Tess Holliday's big fat ass, but she's not a celeb. I don't know what the fuck you call her.
I don't know. She's not a celebrity, but if she was, her studio would be shielding her and all this other stuff, and that's why a lot of these celebrities they don't like truth being told to their power, because they get an artificially inflated sense of power.
Yeah,
because of all the people. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because of all the people that are there to kiss their ass and certainly not say the word no at any point in time.
Yeah, my thing is, like I said, I used to not stand Tess Holliday because all the shit that she fucking stands and she goddamn pushes and shit like that. But now I find myself in like full support of a lot of money behind these people, because I'm just like, you know what? Like I said, yeah, we need more people like we need more people like Tess Holliday and shit like that. Because Tess Holliday will get rid of the fucking idiots and shit like that. Because anybody who buys into her fucking rhetoric that's healthy at any size type of nonsense and shit like that, they are just setting themselves up for goddamn, for goddamn, lifetime fucked up illnesses and shit like that. And these are the people who are going to end up, like saying, dying off real quick. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let natural selection take its goddamn course. If you think you can be fucking 300-400 goddamn pounds and shit like that, just fucking morbidly old goddamn beast, and be like, oh, I'm healthy, you should just accept me at any size and shit like that. Don't come crying to me on shows like My 600-Pound Life and shit like that, talk about I need to lose this weight, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. Now I know that makes me sound cruel and heartless, but I'm like, no, fuck that. You did that shit to your damn self. Now you want me to sit up here and feel sorry for you?
No, it makes you sound realistic. What would make you sound cruel and heartless is if you reacted the way I do. Every time I see that broad, the first thought going through my head is, oh shit, do we got butter? Like, I really, it's the first thing I'm thinking when I tell you, do we got butter? Do we got short? And I start going through the grocery list of unhealthy shit that we're out of in the house.
No, because here's my thing right here to these idiots that be following people like Tess Holliday. It's like, yeah, Tess Holliday is going to keep on doing this so long as she's goddamn making money. So long as this shit puts money in her pocket and all that right there, she's going to keep doing this. The only reason why they see her right now, like exercising and getting in shape right now, is because 9 times out of 10, she got that scare. Like, all right, if you don't start losing this weight right here, your ass is going. You know what I'm saying, we're looking at diabetes, heart disease, osteoporosis, all that crazy stuff right there. So a lot of people have to understand. When Tess Holliday's career is over and being fat doesn't bring in the money and shit like that, she's gonna start whether she gets it sucked out of her or whatever and shit like that. She's got the money to get all these surgeries to like, slim herself down, and that's exactly what the fuck she's gonna goddamn do in time.
Yeah.
But until
but
then,
the people she's
like,
been the people she's been propagandizing to, they don't got the money for that.
yes. And that's what these idiots
No,
fail to
they don't
realize.
got it.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna sit up there being morbidly obese, damn near dying and stuff like that, listening to her damn rhetoric, and somewhere down the road you're gonna see them saying, yeah, Tess Holiday gets fucking gastric bypass surgery or whatever the fuck else that they get to like to suck the fat out of them because they're too damn lazy to work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just, the army of people she had supporting her, and then the healthy at any size fat acceptance movement. Well, they don't have the money to do that. They just don't, and they're probably going to die. At an early age because of buying into her bullshit.
Yeah, and that's why I say, you know what, fuck it, let natural selection take its course. Now I know that sounds cruel, but it's like, hey, they do that shit to themselves, man. Like I told you, do not follow or believe people like Tess Holiday. They will lead you to your fucking doom.
Mm-hmm.
They are the Pied Pipers of
they are the Pied
failed
Pipers of
ideas.
type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, I'm saying they get paid to do this goddamn shit. Like I said, Tess Holiday is a cute person. I hate to fucking say that, but it's like she's
come on,
she's
people. Do not
Yeah.
forget. Oh my God, what was her name?
She's not a good person.
The woman that constantly made those goddamn donut burgers.
Donut burgers. Oh, not Rachel Ray, was it?
No. Rachel Ray actually exercises. Dina something. She had her own show on the Cooking Network.
Paula Dean?
Yeah, Paula Dean.
Oh, Paula Dean.
Dude,
Yeah.
she told everyone, I'm completely healthy and I eat this way all the time. For fucking years, she hid the fact that she had type 2 diabetes from the way she ate, yet she was telling everybody, eat like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now she doesn't have a career anymore.
Well, that and like I said, she got into that N-word scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody went in a time machine to find that the one time she may have actually used the word, and then she's out on her ass. That's how it works anymore.
But yeah, it's like that was part of it too. Like well, as far as like say, the false advertising and propaganda, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about that. So what if she had type 2 diabetes? She got a lot of people to believe this shit. And the reason why they like people like Tess Holiday basically is because hell shit. There is, I'm saying, the most biggest person that you can ever bank off of is somebody who is gullible, and there is nothing more gullible than I'm saying, than the morbidly obese, low self-esteem female. Mm-hmm. They will spend money on any goddamn thing because they're just gullible enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate saying it, but I can't stand that they're doing this new body positivity shit because look, there's another thing too. I always agreed with them when they said, Barbie doesn't represent every body type, and I used to say, yeah, no shit. I mean, but then again, to be fair, I live in the diversity capital of the planet. No two people here look alike. I mean, you look at a New York subway car. I mean, it's literally like the multicultural pals going to work, and it's I'm just saying, like, I had a problem with what they started doing to Barbie when they're like, we're going to start changing Barbie's body types, and I always said, leave Barbie the fuck alone. Why don't you introduce a Maria doll? Why don't you introduce like a Jasmine doll? Why don't you introduce what I'm saying, like different dolls from different neighborhoods instead of like we're gonna tinker with Barbie. And the reason with that is because I always felt it's like subliminally telling these girls that if you strive, you too can look like Barbie because we're changing the way Barbie looks for like this one edition. And it's one of those things like I like thick women. I like shorter, thicker women. You know, as Sarah likes to point out all the time, round, brown, low to the ground. That's what I say. And like Barbie she's the antithesis of what I go for normally.
Well,
And
I guess I should get you one of the plus size black Barbies, huh?
basically, you know, that's well. No, actually, this is the thing. Women of color, I actually like. Black women, I tend to like a little bit more slender. The lighter a woman is, the thicker I like them.
I
That's
actually have one of the plus size Barbies
okay.
because they're collector's items. I actually have the one with the blue hair.
Of course you do.
Dude, she was the only cool looking one.
I can't stand this.
But the thing is,
Wait, there's a cool looking Barbie?
yes, it's the coolest looking one out there. She at least didn't look like she was wearing a fucking nightgown.
Yeah, the thing is, it's much easier to try to force your propaganda onto somebody else.
But the thing with them doing the different size Barbies, they have the Amazon, they have the petite, they have regular size, they have the plus size. The thing with that is that for years and years, they were wanting to do something like this to include other body types, but the focus groups, meaning the children, because they get actual. I watched behind the scenes on a Barbie thing.
Mm-hmm.
Their focus groups were like, no, I don't want to play with that. I don't want to play with that. I don't want to play with that for years. And then they always have prototypes first, and they give the kids to the dolls to the kids in their focus groups and are like, do you want to play with this? Stuff like that. And finally, a majority of the kids were like, yes, I want to play with that. She looks like me, or she looks like my mommy. So that's when they put out the dolls, but it also backfired on them.
Yeah, no one wants a fat ass doll for their kid.
Do what?
No one wants a fat ass doll for their kid.
Yeah, there were parents that were like, you put out this fat doll, and that's going to make my kid think that it's okay to be fat. And they're like, no, that's not at all what it's supposed to mean. It's supposed to include kids that are already that way. Well, you're making those kids think that it's okay to be that way. To which, some of the women that make Barbie, which Barbie is almost all done by women. There's a good portion of them that are plus size that work there. And they're like, well, we're plus size. You're actually healthy like me. I'm healthy physically. I went to a cardiologist. I got on the fucking treadmill. I was told I'm healthy. Yes, I need to lose some weight, but other than that, I'm healthy.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Tara. Right? You've seen me without my shirt on, right? When I was getting changed at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not fat, correct?
No, you're not fat.
Right. What I'm getting at is a point here. I was a fat child. And from what I went through being a fat child, which led to being a portly teenager, which led to being a lean adolescent, and finally a semi-slender adult, is from going through the fat childhood, you see.
Whereas I was a skinny child.
Yeah. I got tormented as a kid a lot. And the reason I was a heavy kid is because we didn't eat American food, and the portions were the type of shit, it's like there was an episode of The Sopranos, and Tony Soprano was in Italy, and he says, as they were having lunch, he said, is that all you people do in this country? The breakfast we had could have clogged the wood chipper. That's all they really eat, like they're getting shot over there, and it translates here. And I was a very heavy kid because of it, because the portions that we would eat were enormous. And it's a lot of pasta, a lot of carbs, and I was a fat kid. And from dealing with that, and from dealing with the ridicule, scorn, the teasing, and everything else that went along with it, I wound up becoming a skinny adult. And I'm healthier for it. And them turning around and insulating these kids. This is the reason you see all these fat ass kids whenever you go to Walmart sitting there trying to walk away with the big ass thing of gumballs.
Mhm.
You know, because then no one's telling them no, and everyone's saying it's okay. You look fine the way you are. It doesn't matter, little Jeffrey, that you got more chins than a Chinese phone book. It's all good. Yeah, seriously, what the fuck's the matter with these people? That is not right. You shouldn't be teaching that shit to these kids.
No.
You know, don't make fun of the fat person, but don't encourage it either.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, look, if somebody's a crackhead, you're not going to start lobbing rocks at them. So if somebody's a fat ass, I don't see why you're going to start throwing burgers at them. It just makes no sense to me, you know?
That's what the bitch come down to. And most of, like I said, when you see when it comes to the body positivity movement and shit like that, it's targeting women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like I'm saying, oh, y'all can be this and look like this and that and everything. But you ever notice that I'm saying that a lot of these women who sit up here and talk about, like I can be whatever I want and stuff like that, and you should accept me. They all got fucking, like priorities and shit like that of what I'm saying, what other people have to look like. Especially like I said, when it comes to a dude, he gotta be chiseled, well dressed, have this and have that right there and everything, but he gotta accept your ass for what you are and shit like that, and here you are sitting up here looking like I'm saying, looking like 10 times Tess Holiday.
In a Facebook thing where someone was like, then fat man can lay pipe or some shit like that, and I was like, where the fuck are these fat men with big dicks?
Right now I'm sitting here having my soda, but
I was like, every fat man, I mean like fat, like Jake and the Fat Man fat.
Oh, okay, okay.
That I've actually been with has had something the size of a goddamn binky. I'm like, I can't fuck that. I was like, I do prefer my men a little, with a little bit of cushion. I'm like, they got a decent sized dick. It's not a huge fucking anaconda. So I don't feel like, it's going to come popping out my mouth. It's fucking me.
I don't know if I want to host today.
I was like, but I do agree that getting with, I love it, my brother. My brother always gets traumatized when it comes to shit like this.
Ever since that incident with the midget comedian.
We'll get into that in a second. But I was like, but I will agree about skinny guys. It's like riding a goddamn skeleton. My brother introduced me to Brad Williams. He's a midget comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad Williams, first of all, he did this thing where he's like, yes, I'm a midget. No, I'm not angry. I don't always sit there going, I'm a midget, running across stage. And it's so fucking horrible and it's fucking hilarious. And all I could do was giggle laugh. And then Brad's sitting there talking about how you got to know how to grab a woman's hair right. All you guys just go, reach, grab, twist, and you end up getting bucked off and hit and shit like that. He's like, no, you got to and he turns around and he starts putting his hand up on the back of his head. He's like, you got to go along the skull and get in there and then grab it and twist it. And I'm sitting there going, yes!
No, you fucking yelled that.
And my brother's sitting there staring at me like, what the fuck?
My eyes are popping out. I'm trying to sink into the chair.
He was in his gaming chair too, so he couldn't sink any further.
Well, actually, no, I probably could. It's a goddamn net. I just won't be able to hide in it. I'm learning so much about my sister I never wanted to know.
Hey, at least I didn't do it when we had our cousin Conan over.
And then I realized I would be enjoying this if our little sister was here to suffer.
Mm.
Because she'd be looking at me with even more horror on her face than you.
Oh yeah. As I could focus, at least I could enjoy her misery.
Yeah, but she decided not to come and visit, even though I invited her for family dinner when we had cousin Conan over. And no,
You got
I'm
a
not
cousin
joking.
named Conan too?
Huh?
You have a cousin named Conan also?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
wow,
actually his middle name.
No, my cousin, his first name is Conan.
I thought that's what my cousin's first name was, but no, it's his middle name. It's because his father loved the book so much.
On my mother's side, it's the twins, Conan and Tyrone. They're from right off the boat. You know, they got the brogues and everything. And, yeah, that's too wild.
His middle name is Conan because his father loved the Conan Barbarian books.
They're cousin Scantry's kids. Yes, I have a fucking first cousin named Scantry.
What kind of name is Scantry?
Very
Scantry,
Irish.
They scanned a tree and gave it to him.
No,
That's the only thing I can think of.
No, Scantry. It's an Irish name.
Mm.
I have, on my mother's side, I got a cousin Scantry. I got a cousin Seamus. I got a cousin
Irish.
Tyrone. Yeah, very Irish. Ah, Jesus and Bigora. You know, that sort of Irish. Yeah. I got a cousin, cousin Tyrone, cousin Conan, cousin Tig, named after Grandpa. Grandpa's name was Tigeen. Yeah. They're real Irish. I'm talking like...
Wait, Tyrone is an Irish name?
Oh, yeah. County Tyrone, are you kidding?
Well, I'm not familiar with all the county names, but I thought Tyrone was just a typical black name.
No. What that actually comes from is because back in the day, the black neighborhoods and the Irish neighborhoods were very intermingled because
There was nowhere else to live.
both were looked at as second-class citizens in this country at one point. You have to realize. And what they used to do, actually, to get the Irish out of a neighborhood, when they wanted to improve the property value, they would move the black people into the neighborhood to get rid of the Irish because it was worth more money with black people in it than Irish people. Harlem was all Irish. The way they improved the property value so they could start taxing them was to move black people in because the Irish were worthless. That's actually how they got the property value up in Harlem. So a lot of people don't realize that. It's what they did in Chicago, too. The reason all of Chicago's wards went black was because they could tax the black folks. They couldn't tax the Irish. They had no money. Yeah.
And now look.
Well, you gotta remember, this is like, we're talking back in the day like shanty Irish. But literally, like, if you think about when you watch the movies from the 30s where they show the kid, like, you'll see the little white kid running around in the overalls with no shoes on. Basically like every Irish American kid back then. They were just like dirt poor fucking people. And that's the reason that the name Tyrone became so popular, is just because they had exposure to it, and it's a cool sounding name. You know, that's where they, long story short, Kelt, that's where they got the name from. But there's a few, there's a lot of transference of different things. A lot of transference. Like the hopping of the broom, that's an old Celtic tradition. Yeah, that got translated over.
It's also a Jamaican tradition.
Yeah, which again, that got brought over.
Where the Jamaicans get it?
The Jamaicans got it from the Irish that were there too. They had Irish working there with them. You got to realize, a lot of people think of Jamaicans. Their genetic makeup is actually mostly Hindu. A large portion of the population in Jamaica were actually the coolies from India. A lot of people don't realize that. They think that that Jamaica was mostly the black slaves at the time, because India was occupied by the British. That's the reason that the Rastafarian religion, it's actually an amalgamation of a few different things, but it's based off of Hinduism, a lot of it. That's the reason that a lot of the words that they use are based on Hindi. You really got to look into it. It's actually really fascinating from an anthropological point of view. Yeah, I know. I get all boring and dull and shit when we start talking about sociology and stuff.
No, we just sit there just listening.
Well, I don't know half the time if you guys are soaking in or like if everyone walked away and is making sandwiches and shit.
No, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just over here masturbating.
Yeah, I say,
Oh, there you go.
No, we just want to interrupt. Like I said, all right, this shit interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, you know, it's one of those things like, because growing up here, and I heard all sorts of rhetoric when I was a kid, and I heard all this stuff. And when I was a kid, my neighborhood, there was a large portion of, and I've said this before on the air, there was a large portion of neo-Nazis when I was a kid. And as part of the reason I started looking into anthropology and sociology, I wanted to find out shit that I could basically rip these assholes apart with, because I didn't like them, like the ones I grew up around, and that's when I started looking into a lot of different things. And I lucked out growing up around people like that, specifically because a lot of them, their ideas and the beliefs that they held were completely asinine, and they had no. Basically, I found out that 9.9 times out of 10, anyone who's pushing identity politics or any wedge issue is doing so based on one principle: narcissism. Aside from it's weird because you have the white liberals that are out there screaming for everybody else, but that's literally from a point of guilt. I think I told you about the time I was dealing with my wife's family, and basically the gist of what I got from these people was the reason that these SJW liberals are doing this stuff is because they feel that they have to get ready for this, they have to give everything to people of color and knock themselves back down to the lowest rung. Because they're white, they'll just naturally reascend to the top anyway.
Yeah.
I sat there listening to that like, wow, where are your fucking white hoods?
And I even have to point stuff like that out, man. I'm like, do you realize how fucking racist you sound right now? You like I said, you're making it like I'm saying, like I'm so goddamn weak that you have to, that you have to do this to your goddamn self in order to get me on your level, and you don't.
Yeah. I actually, bro, I'm not even kidding. I went in and that's when I wrote the speech for more. After hearing these people talk, I wrote the speech. I was going to say it more, and I titled it "The Democratic National Committee Needs to Be Declared a Domestic Terrorist Organization." After hearing these people, I got to sit there and listen to. Basically, it was an impromptu meeting of the Young Democrats. It was all of these people who are now members of the Democratic Party a few years ago, because they were all the ushers and the bridesmaids at my sister-in-law's wedding. So I'm sitting there, I'm listening to these people talk, and it was the most horrific shit I ever heard. They're a bunch of fucking card-carrying commies. I don't care what anyone says. You're not going to tell me differently. And I said, oh, fuck this. I went in, I told my wife, like, I'm sitting there and afterwards, and she's like, what's the matter? Why did you come back so early? I told her, I said, I'm not sitting there. They're the most disgusting people that I've ever met in my life. Like, one of them, like, this is what they toasted to. They toasted to Donald Trump bleeding to death from his asshole, but only after his grandchildren die in his arms. And they all said a resounding huzzah, and I toasted to that. Yeah. Yeah. I've said some horrible shit on the air, and I've admitted it before. I can be a complete bastard when I get provoked, but But even I got my limits, man, and that's what you're gonna toast to on the eve of a wedding. It's one of those things. Like, I don't want to sound superstitious, but you ever hear about bringing on bad luck? You're gonna do that? And you know what the real kick in the ass was? I got the stationery around here somewhere. I told Burnside about it. I was at the same fucking hotel where they filmed The Great Gatsby with these fucking young Democrats. I told my wife when I back in. I told her. I said I felt like I was at the fucking the Bohemian Grove with these people. I'm out in the backyard looking around for owl sculptures and shit that they're sitting there toasting to this.
Yeah, but that's the wildest part. But yet they call themselves the tolerant. You know, oh yeah, you're so tolerant that you're sitting up here wishing death upon. Well, I can't really say nothing because here I am like saying, you know, like people who follow Tess Holiday, you know. But that's only if you're an idiot, you know.
In your Discord server.
What happened?
Lawrence says that that's his favorite channel in your Discord server.
What channel?
Democratic Party should be declared in that terrorist organization.
Oh yeah, that's
because they call themselves so tolerant, so diverse, and so acceptable and shit like that. But yet, when you don't agree with them, that's the first thing they do. They wish fucking death on you.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You didn't really wish...
like the many times, like I said, I didn't encounter all these people who try to speak for me and all that right there. And then when I tell them, like I said, I don't need you to speak for me. I'm a grown ass person. I can speak for myself, and I don't need virtue signaling. What's the first thing they do? They call me Uncle Tom. I'm like, damn, like, wow, very tolerant of you. It's like, these people, I'm saying, well, some of them, not all, man, but it's like the radical ones. That's reason why I call them the radical left, because these are the assholes that are basically, that show them their true colors the moment you either disagree with them or you show them that, hey, I don't need your help and I don't need your fucking virtue signaling to goddamn, to improve myself in this damn life, Because they want you to be these woe is me victim complex motherfuckers who are like who act like they can't do nothing in their life so they can feel like they can come in with their fucking with their fucking guilt-ridden personality and shit like that, feel like like, oh, if I help this person right here, then I'll look like wonderful in the public side. And it's just stupid, like I said.
You need me to approve the fact that you're black and to make the world feel better.
Or at least make them feel better about themselves, because shit, they have. It's like, yeah, I heard, and I had a lot of people tell me too.
Woman's privilege.
I've had a lot of people actually tell me too, like, man, like I said, we got these people, we got these people bowing down to us and all that right there, man. Why are you not taking advantage of that? Because in the end, this shit's gonna come back and bite us in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't fucking get there because they're thinking about the now. They ain't thinking about their generations in the future. I'm saying the shit that they're gonna fucking go through.
We did this and that for you. Now you have to do for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turnabout is fair play.
Yeah, that's the first thing that's gonna come out of their mouth. Oh shit. Oh, we did such and such and this and that. Helping y'all out.
And you took advantage of it. See, we have it listed here because we keep track of all you blackies.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell motherfuckers that, but they don't listen.
Yeah. Again, I mean, a few people had said it just joking around, and then I started seeing a few things. I mean, the amazing Lucas keeps on top of these stories. He had the one about how they were doing the black-only press event now down in Georgia, and that they're trying to put in the segregated shit again. And my father, may he rest in peace, he said to me years ago, he said, these Democrats are slick. He said, what they're doing. Now, you got to remember, this man said this to me 20, 30 years ago. I thought he was nuts. He said they're going to eventually try to convince people that segregation is a good thing for their own sake. He said, watch, they're going to convince the younger people to actually demand segregation. I told him, I said, that's nuts. That's never going to happen. Yeah.
Look at all these ignorant ass colleges and shit like that, talking about black only spaces and all this shit. I'm like,
I will say, most of my friends on Facebook, they are so fucking left-wing liberal. And for a while, I thought it was that left-wing liberal until some of them started saying shit, and I'm like, I don't agree with that.
That's
They're like, oh well, if you're liberal, you agree with this. No, not necessarily. But
Welcome to
when I started
classical
seeing
liberal land.
people suggesting segregation again, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, that shit is why Martin Luther King died.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that shit is why we almost had a civil war in America because they didn't want it. I was like, it had to be executively ordered by the president. And these people talking about it now, if any of them are listening, if I happen to have that big a broad, viewership at some point and someone decides to listen, I can tell you right now that there's a movie coming out called The Worst of Friends. Go watch it. It is about segregation and starting integration. And a black woman and a Klansman becoming friends because she made him realize the error of his ways. Because he was on the board to keep segregation going. Segregation is not a good thing.
No.
Okay? I live in a town where we still have a middle school that is predominantly black because it was the only black school in town. I have seen maybe 5 white students walk out of that school. So, yeah.
Well, we can tell who's texting.
Actually,
no,
that was from me.
Burnside.
That was what?
It's not Burnside.
I was just letting Tara. She was in the middle of her thing. I just wanted to send her a message without interrupting her. Have to back there about to go check out here in about 3 minutes.
But yeah, anyone listening, if it's years down the road, go rent the fucking movie, find it on Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Worst of Friends.
Mm-hmm.
It'll show you the fact that segregation is not a good thing.
Yeah, but that's the wild part. It's like they quick to quote people like Dr. Martin Luther King and things like that, but yet they're fighting for the shit that he fought against. Hell, he was against segregation and all that right there. But you see a whole lot of these motherfuckers, demanding that stuff. Like this only space is this only this and this only that right there. Like I'm like saying like that's a good thing. Like no. Yeah. I'm like, that's the shit that they were doing back in the goddamn day. It's like, would you think it's okay just because you're demanding it now? Like, well, then you know better than the people back in the day and shit like that you're fucking pissed off at and calling racist and white supremacists and stuff like that. What do you look like now? You look like racist black supremacists because you're demanding the same shit that they fucking wanted.
Yeah. Ku Klux Klan and the Nazi Party, they really love those.
Now they're claiming it's the black people claiming that they want segregation, and that's because they're saying, oh, that's because white people have white privilege. Well, you're wanting segregation doesn't just to give kids a better cultural experience. All you're doing is giving them more of a reason to fail.
Mm-hmm. If these morons want to self-segregate into a safe space, and as long as they're going to say in their safe space, that's part of the reason. I think I told you when I went back to the college, I got called down every few days, the first beginning of the semester, then they just gave up. I got told that every classroom is a safe space. So I naturally raised my hand immediately. And the professor goes, yes. I said, where is the unsafe space? Because that's where I think I should go.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at me puzzled, and I explained to him my political stance, much to the horrified look of the students in his class, and him too. And then I proceeded to tell him that what I thought of their safe spaces, what I thought of their beliefs in general, and what I thought of the state of the country. And sure enough, next day I got to go down to the dean again and explain why I was haranguing this professor and his students. And I said politely, all I did was ask if there was any unsafe spaces, because all I see is safe spaces all over this campus. I said, and I prefer an unsafe space.
Yeah. Like I said, unsafe spaces are the ones that are going to prepare you for the world more. Yeah. What you do, you get all these bubble wrap. All these bubble wrap snowflakes and shit like that who come out in the real world expecting this and that to happen, and it's not, and it never will be.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna love the punchline. So she says to me, this dean, she says, "Well, what do you mean like an unsafe space?" I said, off the top of my head, I said probably a place where myself and my fellow male students could get together and compare and contrast the various female students we see wandering around the campus. And her eyes got enormous when I said that. I am, yes, I am. I am a very big shaft of skin, and I say that very, very, very proudly.
Like I say, it's like, yeah, we all respect women, but it doesn't mean that we don't find these motherfuckers attractive. Like, shit.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't know about you, but me personally, if I ever took a woman home and I bedded her, you know what I did the next day? I didn't treat her like shit. Like, I never understood this whole hump and dump phenomena that I always heard when I was younger. Like, oh yeah, one night stand.
The one night stand. Well, the one night stands, like I said, right now it's really on life support.
Yeah,
it's been that way for a while, even before the Me Too movement and shit like that. Because when you listen to a lot of these motherfucking Me Too stories and shit like that, that's what it basically is. It's just a bad one. It's just a bad one night stand, and she had to do the fucking walk of shame.
Yeah.
Because she made the mistake of going out with the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said,
she's a nice, sweet guy. She's sitting there talking to her best friend, who's a nice, sweet guy. But she goes out to the bad boy who records her and then posts it all over social media.
Well, damn, that's a complicated issue right there. But it's like shit. But as far as I'm saying, like I can't begin to count the many times, I've seen motherfuckers like that. I always talk about, hell, they want the nice disc guy girl, stuff like that, and the dude is standing right there in front of his motherfucking ass, but you don't find him attractive. So like I say, you reject that type of dude, but yet you'll still be out there on social media and stuff like that, talking about, why don't guys like me and shit like that. And I'm like, hell, you had about 4 or 5 guys trying to motherfucking date your ass, but you didn't like them because why? They wasn't what you were attracted to. And I had to bust down a lot of my friends.
Yeah, he
on
did
Facebook
that on
with
Facebook.
that shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, like I'm saying, the problem is that hell, no man wants you. The problem is, hell, you get pissed off because, hell, the men that you're attracted to don't want your motherfucking ass. Yeah. And unfortunately, what they want to do, they want to blame all men for that. Like, hell, it ain't my goddamn fault you got a bad taste in them. Shit.
It's funny, when I was younger, I had a lot of trouble dating when I was in my 20s. And I lucked out. I met my wife very early on. And so I was with her. And what I had found out later on, because I had a lot of my friends were female, so a lot of them confided in me. And they told me, they said, well, no, a lot of the girls liked you. I said, why wouldn't they date me? And they said, you don't get it, do you? I said, no. They said, Scoob, you're marriage material. They wanted to go out and get laid. I'm being dead serious. So a lot of these girls would not talk to me because I was the one that they wanted to go out and fuck every Tom, Dick, and Harry and then come back to me later on and get married. That's what they wanted to do. And I think like the one that Stargon did a video about a few days ago about Charlize Theron, how she's like 43 and desperately single. Like she's like, they basically wrote a magazine article about how this woman can't get a fucking date. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I was, younger, especially, I think she started in movies right about when I graduated high school. I think she did The Devil's Advocate. I think that was my senior year, in like 96, 97.
Mm.
And wow, I was fucking smitten with her when she was in that movie. Seriously, I would have walked across broken. Yeah, I would have walked across broken glass for her. I mean, she was fucking hot as hell. But and she's still beautiful, is my point. But the fact that this woman is such a bore of a human being and is so abrasive that she can't get a fucking date. Sargon was right. This is really something these women got to take a long, hard look at, because if you're somebody as unbelievably beautiful as her, whereas I'm not even a superficial person, and I myself, am like taken aback by her looks. If you got that going on for you, and you got all that money, and no one will put up with you enough to date with you. I mean, really, a millionaire, looks like a goddess, is so fucking annoying that no one wants to date her. Ladies, think about what I just said. She's gorgeous and she's loaded, but no one can deal with her. Think about that. That's got to tell these women, there's got to be a fucking huge red flag for these ladies. Like, look, we're not going to deal. We don't give a fuck how fine you are.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care how many zeros are attached to that name. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It really ain't worth it. I mean, see, I hate saying it, that I'm going to be crude, but I could beat off. I don't need to deal with you. I don't give a flying fuck how comfortable you're going to make me. If you're going to make me feel like shit, it's not worth the money.
Yes.
And they don't understand it.
Yeah, they don't quite understand the whole companionship thing. It's you got to meet the other person halfway. And if you demand that they invest the lion's share of themselves into the relationship, but do nothing of investing yourself in the relationship, well, it's not really worth it, is it?
Like, I think I told you guys, when I first graduated, there was this girl I went to school with. I had a thing for her. Her nickname in the neighborhood was Tig Old Biddies. I can tell why I liked her. The relationship, I think, lasted 9 days, and I left her at the mall. I could not fucking take her anymore. I had a crush on her all through high school. Finally got up the courage to ask her out. Dated her for 9 days and left her ass at the mall. Could not take her no more. She was fucking insufferable.
Tell them what she said.
Oh, yeah. So now you gotta remember, this is like 1998, 1999. So we're going back about 20 years. Just bear in mind that how much money was back then, right? We're up in Victoria's Secret. And she goes and she gets rang up, and the girl behind the counter goes like this, okay, that'll be $750. How are you paying for this? And she looks at me and goes, well, I look at her and go, what the fuck you mean, well? I ain't wearing any of this shit. And so she goes like this to me. She goes, excuse me? She's like, I don't think you understand. She's like, I could have any man in this mall that I want. You want this, you're going to have to pay for it. She's like, so you better make a decision. So the bitch behind the counter gives me a look like, oh, she told you. And I look at this girl, and, you get the one instinct where you want to grab her and just snap her neck with one hand. But then, immediately, I get the grin in the back of my head like, okay. So I look at her, and I crack the sheepish smile, and I look at the feet. I really ham it up. I go like this. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I am thankful. I should not only be thankful, I should be grateful. You've done a real service for me. I'm not worthy of it. I'm so sorry I offended you. I hope you won't take any umbrage at what I said to you. And to make it up to you, money is no object. I want you to go nuts, go on a shopping spree, pick out whatever you want. Just give me a second. I want to run down to the car and get my checkbook because I don't have enough cash on me to cover all this. She says, okay. So I go downstairs. I throw the key in the ignition. I put it in reverse. I back out the space. So I'm driving. And all of a sudden, my pager goes off. So I pull over by County Line Road, and I'm up over on the phone, right in front of the car wash at the payphone. And so I go, I'm like, hello, and she's at the payphone bank down at the foot of the stairs. Where the fuck are you? I go, oh shit, yeah, I just realized something. You were right. You could get any man in that mall. So go holler at one of them and get a ride with them. Peace. And I hung up on her. Yeah. Good times, man.
Man.
Well,
But
Scoob,
yeah.
I love that story,
Mhm.
but I got to get up for work. So y'all take it easy. Good to see you, Pat. Good to see you, Kel.
All right.
You're probably playing video games right now, but
Nope.
good to see you.
So
Good to see you, Tara.
You have off.
Y'all take it easy.
All right, what say, Tell?
I was telling him we'll get together on a day he has off. I need help doing my dolphin video.
Cool. I like dolphins. Yeah, seriously. Flipper was the man.
Yep, it's gonna have the Flipper theme song.
They call him Flipper. Flipper. Faster than... How the fuck do I remember that?
How
Oh my
about
god.
Scooby? Animaniacs. And
That's
this-
fine. That's not as old. I haven't seen Flipper since like 1984. That's what I'm saying. How the fuck do I remember? It's like 36 years ago.
Oh man, I remember.
Sailor Man. Doo, doo. I'm starting
Yeah.
to finish because I eat me spinach.
Oh, man.
I actually watched cartoons. So.
Popeye, man, like I said, I'm kind of mad at Popeye, man. Popeye gets your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Not when
Popeye
I
was one of
was
those.
a kid. Not until I hit middle school did I get my ass whooped.
Yeah, Popeye was one of those cartoons right there that hell shit. It's just, yeah, like how Robin Harris said, make me think I need spinach and kick ass. Oh, it is here. You got Popeye, the smallest motherfucker in the goddamn world, fighting the Bluto's big muscular burly ass over this skinny ass motherfucker. I mean, just be killing themselves, man, trying to get fucking Olive over. All of a sudden, hell, he popped that goddamn spinach and hell, get the whooping ass and in the end. I'm like, damn, man, what the hell is Olive throwing on these motherfuckers to get them this goddamn crazy?
She got that tight pussy.
There's something here, shit, then. Then, like I said, hell, shit, she had that damn long neck with that damn Adam's apple. So I don't know, maybe that's what it was. She had that head game, and they both trying to get a hold of it.
Hey, she had an Adam's apple. She was the first transgender. Dude, she had a bigger Adam's apple than fucking Bluto.
I was saying, God dang. I mean, tall and just bony. And I mean, Popeye and Bluto just kicking each other's ass trying to get a hold of this motherfucker, man. And this is back then when you had motherfuckers like Blondie and Betty Boop and them and all this shit right there, man. Yeah, remember those little cartoon booklets and shit like that with the X-rated?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't begin to. I'm saying, you know, count how many of those motherfucking things I had. Where you had like I'm saying Popeye and fucking damn, what's the dude Wimpy and shit like that. Fucking people like Blondie and Betty Boop them and shit.
Oh, you can find those on any website now.
Yeah. Well, I remember.
Oh my god.
I mean, I've seen ones of fucking Marge Simpson eating out Lois Griffin.
I said, but these right here, I'm talking about these like back in the days, like I'm saying all the comic strips and shit like that. Where you see like motherfucking like the Betty Boops, the Blondies, the Archies, and them and shit like that.
You know, I remember when they used to have, because it wasn't, not that it was my parents, because my parents didn't believe in it. Somebody brought them over years ago and left them, and I had found them when I was a kid, and it was the X-rated playing cards. And
Yeah, my mom had a set of those.
it was all the ones with the chick from the Playboy comic with the where she's got the stockings on and the high heels and nothing else.
Ah.
Yeah, it was a set of those cards, and I think my mother threw them out, which kind of upset me because I think they're worth a few grand now. But now I remember all that X-rated shit from when I was a kid. You know, that's
Lawrence says you guys hear what they're doing in some states. They're hiring drag queens to read books about the women's march to kindergartners.
yeah, they've been doing that.
They've been doing that.
Yeah. Now look, I got friends who I'm being serious. I'm not even saying this trying to be funny. I actually got friends who are drag queens. Not close friends. It's not like I, hang out with these guys on the regular. But back when I was going to the Scratch DJ Academy, I would wander around Lower Manhattan because I was in there at the time. And I found this bar about 3 or 4 blocks over and 2 blocks up from the school. And it actually had an Iron Maiden in there in a cage in the bar. And the bar, it was kind of set up. It looked just like the bar that was in An American Werewolf in London. And they had some really good beers on tap. They had some really good wings. And every once in a while, there were these drag queens in there. And there was this one drag queen. I don't want to dox the guy, so they use those wild names. I used to call the guy Gloria Pinfeathers when I would talk about him, just because it's not the name he used. And if there is an actual drag queen out there with that name, oh well. But I would play darts with this guy, and he used to get the cork all the time. Now, that having been said, I don't think that you should have drag queens reading to children. Just, I don't know. I shouldn't really have to list reasons why. Do I got to list reasons why we shouldn't have drag queens reading to kids? Anybody? Do I have to spell this out? I mean, do we got to list? Does this need an explanation? Okay, look. You got a hen house. You got a fox. Do I got to finish explaining why you don't put the fox in the hen house?
Yeah, no.
Now, I'm not saying that these drag queens are going to diddle these kids. That's not even it at all. There's so much wrong with this situation.
I know. It's kind of like how you say, you don't have porn stars teaching,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Teaching high school. Because 9 times out of 10, man, these kids will probably saw your motherfucking ass in that way. And yeah, how you gonna be able to get? I'm saying, how you gonna be able to get these kids to learn and stuff like that when they've seen you in a fucking full Nelson position taking it in the ass?
Yeah. And
because I remember, like, I forgot who that teacher was.
I swear I saw you in a movie once.
Yeah, because it was this one female.
Screaming, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Yeah, it was this one female named her stage name was Tiffany Six, and that's what it was. She was like I forgot, she was like a junior high teacher and shit like that in Yale. And one of the kids, found out what she did and stuff like that, and it pretty much, she couldn't do nothing else because then that's all they fucking saw her as.
Yeah. And that sucks. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of my teachers wound up doing porn. I'm not sure. I gotta go scour the porn sites to find this woman, but I'm pretty sure that this redhead porn star was one of my teachers. I mean, at this point, now she'd probably be retired. She's probably a porn star in like the early 2000s. But
there's still some old motherfuckers out there still trying to goddamn.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean,
like the nostalgic motherfuckers like Nina Hartley and shit like that.
I was just gonna say Nina Hartley, yeah.
Yeah, because I think not too long ago, I think I saw like Karen Summon. Man, she's like old. She's like fucking, great grandmama old and still out there trying to fucking shit. Like, go on in with your old ass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Nina Hartley. I mean, to be fair, Nina's like what, 70, but she's in great shape. She's still got a 6-pack.
Yeah. Yeah, still got it going on and stuff like that. And it's like, now like she's at that point right now where she can just basically do whatever the fuck she wants. But back then, she was very limited. She could only fuck with like certain types of dude. Now she's out there, she's doing all the wild shit now here, fucking, fucking doing anal racial scenes and shit like that. Like, yeah, her and like fucking Ginger Lynn, because in the past stuff like that, you never seen them, fuck with black guys and shit like that. Now it seems like that's the majority of the thing to do. It's like they're trying to catch up on the shit that they couldn't do back in the day.
Well, let's be completely honest. Time hasn't been as kind to Ginger as it has been to Nina.
Well, the only thing about Ginger Lynn is that she put on weight.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all that basically is right there. You know, Nina, she just, I don't know. She just basically.
I think I said it before though. I guess you know what it is. It's just me. They ain't my type, so that's probably what it is. I nothing against. Look, Ginger Lynn's a beautiful woman, but she's just not my type. Nina
They my
Hartley
type.
was. Yes, they neither one of them were my type. Like from that era, the women I liked, Hypatia Lee. Definitely. Oh my God, did I love her. Yeah, the I just never liked any of those broads.
My favorite man was Buffy Davis. It's like I kind of wanted. I don't even know if she's still alive. It's like I don't know. 1 second she was there, and then all of a sudden she just poof, just motherfucking disappeared. Nobody knows what the fuck she is now. I don't even know if she's still alive.
I'll be honest. I always liked Tracy Lords because it turns out she's only like 4 or 5 years older than I am.
Yeah,
And
she lied about her age.
Yeah, she started doing those movies at like 15, 16 years old.
Wasn't Jenna Jameson the same way?
She started young when it was. She started stripping really young. And Jenna Jameson, like, I tell people this, and some people get mad at me when I tell them this. I actually had the opportunity to meet her about 15 years ago, maybe. And I didn't want to meet her. And like people would tell me, they're like, why didn't you want to meet her? I said, well, I'm a journalist. What the fuck am I going to talk to her about? You know, really, I don't. Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what it was going to be. And they're like, well, this is when people started. A lot of my friends thought that because I told them I wasn't attracted to her, they thought I was gay. And I'm like, no, I don't like blonde hair, blue-eyed white girls like that. That's not my type at all. You know, like Salma Hayek is my type. That's what I like. You know, nothing against Jenna Jameson. Like I was saying before, Charlize Theron, I found really attractive in The Devil's Advocate. You know, and she's not my type, but just something about her particularly. She did it for me. You know, I can go against type. You don't have to be. But you know what I'm saying? They could just be something about that particular woman. You know, and she could be completely not my type, but there's just something about her. And like, there's a lot of women that I've been attracted to in the past, and people are like, why are you attracted to her? I'm like, I got no fucking clue. Couldn't tell you. You know? Like, there's this one female porn star. She's been on the heavy side. Her name is Alex Lakehurst.
I've never heard of her.
Yeah, look her up. That's the thing. She's got a look to her. She's cute. That's the only way I could describe it. It's just there's something about the way. There is literally something about the way she looks. I can't explain it. You know? And I just use her as an example. Certain girls, there's just something about them. That's the way I find them really desirable. I don't know what the fuck it is. You know, because they completely go against the grain of what I normally go for. Yeah. Well, I tell people all the time, type is type, but sometimes you find ones that aren't your type. Like I said before, I have slept with a skinny girl in the past. Skinny girls aren't my type. I'm not sure, though, to be fair. It might have just been because I had the opportunity, and this is going to sound like a real asshole thing, and I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm a male pig, but I had the opportunity. It was one of those where I shrugged my shoulders and said, yeah, why not? Fuck it. I got the opportunity, you know?
Pig.
Well, seriously, I don't know. I slept with a fat girl once just because I had the opportunity and I was curious. You know, look, it's two things that are now on my bucket list. I don't, you know, I've slept with a fat bitch and I slept with a skinny one. So they're not on the bucket list. Now the only thing left is a midget. I had an Amazon. She had huge feet.
Well, like I said, you know, I haven't fucked a midget, but I'm saying I fucked somebody close to her. Close to her, like I said, you know, like I said, well, she was 5'2", so shit. that's as close as I ever fucking got. But it's like, yeah, But I already told you, mine is right now. My bucket list thing is like I'm saying, you know, it's like fucking, you know, an Oriental chick. Like I said, shit.
Hey, God bless you.
Go to
I've
New York, there's plenty of them.
What
yeah,
up?
So go to New York, there's plenty of them.
Like
yeah.
I said, if I can get a hold of an Asian chick, goddamn it, that'll be the ultimate right there on the sexual bucket list.
Hey, let me
Like I
ask
said,
you.
I fucked black, white, Indian. I fucked a Hispanic and shit like that. I just didn't know Asian chick.
Well, I want to ask you. You're my height, right? You're 6'2"?
No, I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9".
Oh, okay. I
I'm a
thought you
little,
was.
nah, I'm not that tall.
Nah, he's the same height as Burnside.
Oh, I thought you were my height.
Mm.
All right, because I was gonna say I was with a chick that was the same height as me, and bro, one word,
Mm.
feet. Holy shit, this chick's feet were huge. No, seriously, I was like, holy shit, because like I got out of the bed and I asked her where the bathroom was, and she told me, and we're both standing there. Obviously, we just finished, so we're both naked, and I'm looking at her, and I, give it a once over, and she's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "How tall are you?" She's like 6'2". I said, "Oh, thank God." She's like, "What?" I said, "I thought that I shrank."
Your feet's too big.
No, I mean, because we're both standing there, and I realized we
Mhm.
were eye level with each other. I'd never experienced that before. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, just if you ever with a woman that's the same height as you or taller, just fair warning, they're gonna have huge feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been with a tall woman before. Shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
brought her down to my motherfucking level real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelt. Hey, Kelt, you still awake?
Yeah, where you at?
I don't know. I was gonna tell him. I know it. I got a line for him. If you ever meet a tall woman, ask her how tall are you, and whatever her response is, if she says, "Oh, I'm 6 foot," just say, "And I bet you're worth the climb." Depending on her reaction, it'll tell you how your night goes. Too bad the kid's not here. He's missing the pearls I'm handing out.
No, me, like I said, I wouldn't mind a tall woman and shit like this. Like I'm saying, like it's just when they're just like skinny. I mean, when I'm talking about, like skinny, like nah.
Yeah.
If I feel like I could pick you up with one goddamn hand, like hell no, I can't do it.
Short and chubby, man. I like them, not chubby like in the gut. Most of the girls I go for, like I fuck with my wife all the time. I can wear her pants. I fit in them. My wife has got ass for days, and I bust her shoes about it too. I called her at once, and she punched me in the side of the head, and I didn't call her it anymore. I used to call her ghetto booty. No, seriously, she's got that whole apple bottom thing going on, like severely. Like when she used to walk the dog, she used to get all mad because the teenagers in the neighborhood would drive past and be like, "God damn, she got a fat ass."
Oh, they call the show.
What's up?
He fell asleep. I just woke him up.
That's too funny. Cal, call the show if you're falling asleep, bro. It's 1:00 anyway. It's all good.
And we're off.
Yeah, because it is midnight.